Okay, yes, I had to bring over the YouTube side because every time you come in the middle of the intro, they can hear you talking through it. Keisha.
Oh, my bad.
And so,
My bad, y'all.
listen. And so the thing is that I said I'm gonna be quiet. I hope Keisha don't come in and don't say nothing. Oh my God! I know this
I'm
is a
so
shock.
sorry.
I know this is a shock to everybody, but I'll have an explanation. Nothing bad or anything, but when you're dealing with 20-year-olds, things get shifted around, right? So yeah. All right, so I'll wait till folks start coming in because I wanted to surprise everybody. I did not do recaps on Bold and Young and the Restless because I've been gone all day. So
You
I
got a
said,
life too. You're busy.
yeah, my son's birthday is today, like I told you guys last weekend. He's here. He's not here right now. He's at a haunted house. But
Oh, fun.
yeah, but we did a lot today, and so we came. He was knocked out. We left here probably about 7:30 in this morning. We were gone all day. We got back here close to 4, and he was knocked out. And the next thing, he was like, "Mom, we're going to go out tomorrow. I want to go to the mall. I need to go to Zara. And then we're going to eat tomorrow." And I'm like, "Okay. Well, what are you going to do this evening?" "I'm going to a haunted house with my friends." "Oh, okay. See you later." I'm like, "Well, I can do my podcast tonight instead of tomorrow." So
Well, that worked out worked out for us anyway.
yeah, cause
Yeah.
I guess the haunted house they're going to is probably like 40 minutes away or whatever. So he just left here
Oh,
like
okay.
about 10, 15 minutes ago. He said, "You finna do your podcast? Okay, enjoy. I'll be back." I'm like, "Cool."
Has
So,
he heard your podcast?
oh yeah, yeah. Keisha and I have been doing this for 4 years, so he's heard my podcast since he was in high school at the time when I first started it, in the senior year of high school when I started it. So
Oh, goodness.
yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, let me see. Let me check and see who has come in here because I know it was a shock to everybody. Probably like, dang, you are on today. Hold on, let me see.
Oh, they're starting to come in.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure because if I get started, I don't want to wait too late because the podcast side is, of course, recording. All right, let's see. Okay, there we go. Oh, yes, 30 people in there. Yay. Hey, y'all. I don't know if you heard the story, but yeah, my son's birthday is today. We was gone most of the day. He came in, crashed on the couch for a little bit, and then he was up and out of here again to go into a haunted house with his friend. So this allowed me the opportunity to jump on this live and talk about these soaps. While he was sleeping, I had to catch up on the Friday episode, so I was able to do that at the last minute.
Yeah, I literally just finished Young and the Restless.
Okay, cool. All right. Enough of me rambling. Hopefully you guys had a great week. Keisha and Bree, hopefully you guys had a good week as well. And
Oh, I'm happy it's Friday.
oh, I bet, girl, listen. I mean, I was off today, but I couldn't wait to get to Thursday. So I'm like, that was my Friday. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the intro. Welcome you guys to CBS Soap Dish Recap, where Bree, Keisha, and I am Letitia will be recapping both The Young and the Restless, Bold and the Beautiful for the week of October 9th through the 13th. And I gotta say, toward the end, I'm gonna give you guys an opportunity, you two ladies and myself, an opportunity to have a couple of minutes for a vent session. And I'll tell you why. So I know a lot of people some of our characters that I know that maybe you want to vent about. If you were talking to them, if you had an opportunity in Soapland to tell somebody about themselves, I'm going to give you the opportunity to do it. I said, you know what? I think that would be fun. Now, listen, I know this is just a soap, so I don't want nobody dropping in the comment, well, it's just a soap. We know it's a soap. We over here to have fun, okay? So, whether that's Sally, whether that's Nicholas, Victor, or on the Bold and the Beautiful.
All of them.
Well, you got to pick one. We'll be on for 5 hours.
There's one in particular for sure.
Oh my God! Listen, Hope, Brooke, Sheila, somebody. If you wanted to just pull them to the side and tell them about themselves, I'm gonna give you guys the opportunity to do that. Okay.
Cool.
All right. Okay, so let's go ahead. We're going to recap the Young and the Restless first, and then the Bold and Beautiful, and then we usually have our 2 segments, which is the flip the script and who's taking a seat, and then we're going to have a little bit of a vent session, because I'm telling you, after seeing Friday's episode, there's a couple folks from both shows that I ain't happy with right now. All right, so let me do the recap, the summary, I should say. And then we'll go ahead and get this started. Let's see. Okay, so Tucker and Audra crashed Diane and Jack's vow renewal, and Nikki put Diane on notice. Tucker gives the Abbotts a bugged bonsai tree and eavesdrop on them as Kyle and Audra reunite in bed. Thanks to a tip from Phyllis, Jack discovers the bug bonsai and decides to use it against Tucker. Nick dumps Sally because he doubts her commitment, and Victoria begs Nick for help, and Victor toys with Adam and Nate. And then Sally confesses her feelings for Adam. Adam stunned at Victoria's apology before she smashes Victor's photo. Okay. Where do you guys want to start? Should we, you know what, let's go ahead and knock out what happened at that reception.
Oh, yeah. So we attended the reception for Jack and Diane. It was against her own will. Well, I can't really say that. We were curious to see what happened. I was surprised at how pleasant it was.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little annoyed why Audra and Tucker just showed up. I mean, they stuck out like a sore thumb. But I thought it was really interesting to see like how Kyle was starting to get a little bit of jealous, seeing how fine Chance was and how Summer was looking at him. and then Sharon is a whole mess. You competing with your ex-husband's daughter, and it's desperate and it's so sad to see. But I would say overall, I was glad I attended this wedding over Ridge and Brooks.
Oh, yeah. Well, are they even still having a wedding? They haven't talked anymore about it. What'd you say?
And I hope they don't.
I hope. I'm same with Keisha. I hope they don't. If they say like in a couple of sentences, "Hey, we went to the courthouse. We're good. We're good. We don't need to see that." I'm craving. I'm good with
but
that.
you know what? They haven't. Remember the last time we heard anything about Brooke's wedding is when she was talking about designing that dress, and wasn't that like in early September? It's been a while, you know, and they have not talked. Say it again.
Oh, I'm sorry. Since we've never seen her pick up a pen to design nothing at all.
Yeah, that was weird. I'm like, okay, because even when I went over and did the fall previews, they came out in the middle of, I think it was in the middle or early September. They didn't mention anything about their wedding. I'm wondering, are they just putting it on the back burner until Steffi get back, or what the situation is with that? It's just interesting that they got engaged. She talked about a dress, and we didn't hear any more about the wedding. Now, we heard about them canoodling all the time and all that, but I don't know.
I just want them to get married and get it out the way, because I'm tired of it hanging over our heads.
Right.
I read something that, and I read this back in August. I didn't really believe it, but maybe they might have the wedding towards Christmas because of the Christmas thing that Charlie did. So they might tie that in for a Christmas wedding. That's something I read, but I don't know.
That's even worse.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Not again.
Christmas joy.
I guess, girl. I don't know. It's
ho,
like,
ho, ho.
girl, you a fool. Okay, anyway.
Didn't you say Krista's contract expires in December?
That's what they were saying, yeah. I don't know. I hope. I hope they give her an extension or whatever.
Me too.
You know, so, anywho. Alright, let's get back to the Young and the Restless. So, back to the reception. Like you said, Bree, the reception actually, you know, there was no major disaster except for Audra and Tucker showing up at the wedding.
Which was stupid. Like, why did Tucker, of all things, show up at the wedding? You made it obvious, and then you gave a whole gift. He could have just paid someone to send over, like, wedding gifts. They're not going to pay attention to who sent them what.
But,
and could have said it could have been a gift for a long time. I don't know.
You know what that was about.
Tucker's messy.
That's about that doggone bonsai. But the thing is that it would have, I think that bonsai would have got well, no, because Phyllis hacked his computer. But if he really wanted to take suspicion off of him, but still, how would they get a bonsai in there unless some stranger brought it by and it was anonymous? Then that makes it even more suspicious. So whether he gave it to him or sent it by somebody else, it would have been suspicious, right?
Yeah, but I mean, why would he show up handing the very gift that has a plant, it has a little bug in it? Like, that was very foolish on Tucker's part. If anything, like you said, he could have just hired somebody and say, hey, this is a gift, and say, hey, there's, we don't know where it came from, or it's from a longtime friend. They wanted to send this to you. It could have been anything but Tucker.
Yeah. What you think, Keish?
I just think Tucker is messy, and he wanted to show up there because he knew it was gonna ruffle people's feathers, and I'm assuming he just didn't think they were going to be smart enough to think that there was anything planted in that tree. Well, which that would have been my first guess. Well, because why are you really giving us a gift?
Well, the interesting thing about that, though, Keisha, is that bonsai would have been out the door because Jack wanted it gone. The only reason that it was still there because Billy had to open it. Because remember, Tracy and Billy said Jack wanted that thing gone. He didn't want anything from Tucker. And Billy was sitting up there analyzing and looking at it and all that kind of stuff. Now, granted, Phyllis was the one that helped him. You know what I'm saying? By hacking into Tucker's computer to see that he just recently bought a listening device. But I don't know. I'm more curious to see what Jack is going to do to outsmart Tucker, though. What do you think?
I honestly think this was actually the smart thing that Jack has done. I feel like if Tucker was so bold to try to trap Billy into espionage, I think Jack might do the same and try to like feed Tucker certain information, and then it'll get him caught up to go to jail maybe. I don't know, but this is actually very smart for Jack. So I'm curious to see what they're going to do with it. But the way Diane was so willing and excited to keep that bonsai tree. She's like, oh, it's just a gesture. It's just this. She was the first main one to keep there.
Right. You are absolutely correct. She sure did.
I think that maybe she was... I think she's scamming with Tucker.
It kind of... So. Yeah, it kind of gave me a weird feeling about that. Because I'm like, you want to trust Tucker? It's a good gesture. And then all of a sudden, when they found out it was a bug in it, oh, wow, we can't trust him. I'm like, no, you couldn't have trusted him in the first place. What do you mean?
Exactly. It's like, what changed? Like, what changed all of a sudden? She's been skeptical of any and everybody thus far. who comes against her, and she knows that Tucker's going against the family. Why would she just think that all of a sudden he's just doing something out of the goodness of his heart? That was very fishy to me.
Yeah.
What a blow to Jack's heart and his ego that would be if she for real is working with Tucker.
I know.
Because he has been die hard about Diane.
I know, right? Girl, that would be really... Oh, that he would be devastated. You know, that to find out that the woman that he gave a chance to, you know, she was part of this whole thing now. You know what I mean?
Ruined his, well, temporarily ruined his relationship with his sister. Him and Billy are a little bit at odds because Billy's not trusting her right now. Or I guess really not trusting Jack as far as his judgment when it comes to her place in the company.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always been like a trust issue between Billy and Jack because Billy has always, they've slighted each other. I feel Billy has caused more harm to his brother than the other way around. So there's always going to be that tension, that issue. Same with another set of brothers on this show. But I don't think that Billy's off base. He actually hasn't really been off base throughout this whole process. It's really Jack who's been kind of manipulating him a little bit. He tried to manipulate him in the beginning to go over and work for Tucker and Ashley. And then it's like you're pulling the same person in and out that you feel is unstable and won't listen to you. So like, why would you give him the assignment to try to help you go after Tucker? I don't get that.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I'm just curious to find out. Well, here's the thing. From what I understand, as a spoiler alert, Phyllis is going to be, she's going to use a little bit of leverage over Tucker because she is the one, and I'm going to put this out here now, she's the one that finds out that Mamie is connected with Tucker.
Why would Mamie go? Why would she go to?
Girl, I was so mad at. Girl, listen.
All people.
When I saw that spoiler that came out, and I think it's either Wednesday or Thursday of next week, I was so mad. I'm like, why would you bring her back to only be tied up with Tucker McCall?
Yeah, and I wonder if it's a case of where she thinks she's doing something good, even though she knows it might cause some issues, but she ultimately, like, she's got good intentions, or...
Well, here's what the thing is. When she find out that information, when she uncovers that, she's actually, and this is the part what I don't like about some of these characters, like what Billy did last week with showing your hand. Your opponent cannot know which direction you're going to move into if you show your hand. You don't let the person do something to you underhandedly and say, hey, guess what? I know what you did. You know, it's like, okay, I know what you did. Let me strategize. Phyllis does the same thing. She goes over to Tucker and tells him, I know you have a connection with Mamie. I've uncovered it. So I'm going to need you to back off. She's trying to use leverage with, you know, of course, the Devon situation, because that'll be devastating to Lily and Devon that Tucker is using Mamie, or Mamie is in cahoots. You know what I'm saying? Because, so, and of course, Phyllis knows that, and she's going to be like, okay, I know you don't want nobody to know this. So I'm going to need you to back off. Let me start my life over and leave me the heck alone. That's her leverage for next week.
But my thing is, like, moral, as far as like a moral compass, we know that that's kind of, it's going to be flawed with a lot of characters on this show. But as far as a business deal, I don't really see what he did was wrong. But I mean, he was actually very smart to use Mamie to go to Victor to even get those shares. And so that made more sense. And it's obvious he wants to try to have a foot in every bit of these companies. That's why Audra's been working her way with all these powerful families too. But he wants to try to have some footing over in Chancellor. It wouldn't surprise if he wants to take that over because that's his family legacy. So it wouldn't surprise me if he wanted to try to wiggle his way in and eventually take over either Jill's spot or just take over the company just in general. I don't know. But I feel like that it was very smart business-wise on his part. It's not good moral-wise, but I think Mamie's going to be fine if she's going to be upset. But at the same time, this is nothing different that Victor wouldn't do.
Yeah, I guess it's the oh gosh. I mean, she doesn't have enough shares to, I guess, be a majority stakeholder. But I guess the fact that she is just too close, because your grandniece and, you know, your grandnephew is owning the business, and you Tucker's use you to slide through the back door to take a piece to do whatever. You know what I'm saying? And that's because I see what you're saying. It might be a good coup business wise, but because of the fact it's Mamie, Devon, and Lily, that's what a problem is.
I mean, true, but we also saw, I believe early this year, I think it was early this year, Devon and Lily fight each other in court. We've seen Devon and Nate argue. Like, there's always going to be an issue.
Mm-hmm.
And I guarantee if Devon or Lily had that opportunity, they would have done the same thing as Tucker, because they would want to try to have more of a footing within Chancellor Winners. And I feel like if it's a small piece of investment, it still opens a door for Tucker, no matter how big or small. And I feel he eventually, as much as we've seen Jill nowadays, I feel like we're going to see some interaction between Tucker and Jill. And I feel like he's going to slowly try to take over that company. And Jabot. I think he's just on a takeover spirit.
Yeah, and see, go ahead, Keish.
I was just going to say, I guess I just can't wrap my head around how he would be able to do that if they're saying that those shares are so small. Like, I don't know. Maybe we just haven't gotten that far into his plan yet, or am I missing something? Like, how?
I think it just opens the door. It opens like a little crack, because at this point he's never had, like, he has no say, like no investment, like nothing regarding Chancellor Winners. Him linking with Mamie and her having that investment, that opens a door for him. And maybe like down the line, maybe next year, we'll see him try to wiggle his way to try to take over Chancellor Winners. It just, otherwise there'd be no reason for him to try to invest in a company or worry about the company if he wasn't looking to try to take it over. But it's like he's on a takeover spirit. He wants Jabot, and now with this investment, it's like, what is the overall goal for him? I'm curious about
Girl,
it.
shoot, he want to have ultimate power. I wouldn't be a bit surprised that Claire Grace girl, it wouldn't be working with him too to stick her toe in Newman.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I think one of the things that bothers me the most about this is that he knows how pissed off Devon is going to be when all this comes out. So it's like, once again, you're okay risking your relationship with your son, who they were in a pretty good place, all because you want to get revenge on the Abbotts and you want to try to sneak your way into Chancellor Winters.
Well, here's the crazy thing about that, Keisha. He's pissed off because Ashley told him, I don't want to go into business with you. Let's still stay married, but I don't want to go into business with you. And then you take it out on Jack and Jabot and all these other people because she decided not to go up against her own family. That's what he's so
that's ridiculous in itself.
That's what he's so pissed off about. Girl,
that disrupts the overall plan, and that's why I have a strong feeling he and Diane, they're up to something. It's just in the way that she was talking with Kyle earlier this week about the position. She's like, okay, I think I can make that happen for you. They're both playing puppet masters, and I don't know what the overall goal is, but I do see it. And I don't trust neither one of them. And Jay Money made a very good point in the chat
What'd he
regarding
say?
Tucker shares.
What'd he say?
He said, wait a minute, if Mamie is only a face for Tucker and he actually owns those shares, does he also have shares from Catherine when she passed that he combined it with the first he bought to give him some true power? See?
Did Catherine leave him shares?
He's family. I'm sure he got some shares. And combine that with Mamie's, it might give him enough to have some say so.
Girl, listen.
It is a little wiggle room. There's a little wiggle room.
Girl, Devon would never forgive him. You come in, got some shares from his mom, his grandma. You got some remaining shares, and then you take that extra little piece that Mamie bought to make probably push him over to the majority stakeholder at this point. Ooh, that would be ugly.
And
it's still odd to me that Mamie would agree to help him.
Yeah, why?
You know what I mean?
Like, exactly.
What interactions that she had with Tucker that she would say, oh yeah, this is a good idea. Let me help you with this. And also we're going to hide it from your son and my great niece.
Oh, didn't she say that she came up on some money from good business investments? Maybe he was an investor for her so she can build up her wealth. Yeah. Otherwise, how would she get that money? I mean, you never know. I'm surprised the amount of people that come into Devon's life and Tucker already knows him. I think he's always just had that in his back pocket. I think he was just always waiting for a time to make his move. And what Jay Money pointed out, that makes perfect sense. Combine shares, and then he can be on some takeover. Oh wow!
I think she got her initial, I guess, windfall of money. I thought she got from John Abbott.
But would it be enough to
and then
really
she just built on it from there?
That could be, yeah.
Well, and only other thing I can think of is Lord, Tucker might have promised her.
Thomas on your money.
Shut up, girl. I feel sorry for Thomas, but we'll talk about that later.
Oh yeah.
Tucker promised Mamie something that he might go back on. So maybe he said, you know what, this will be an opportunity to bring our families together. Your son, my son, your nephew and niece, and we can all run the company together. And maybe he sold Mamie out on getting Jill out of the picture, because her and Jill can't stand each other, right? But then he get to the end goal and flip the script on Mamie. You know what I'm saying? Because why, like Keisha said, why would you sign up with this dude unless there was an incentive? The only incentive that she could get out of that is getting Jill out of the way, removing her out the company, and maybe Tucker just say, oh, we can run this together and we'll bring the families back together and all of that. What do you guys think about that theory?
Mamie can't be that dumb. She can't be stupid, though. Mamie is a smart woman.
Well, we talking about the dumb writers, though.
That is true. But I mean, maybe for her, maybe feels that she's doing it to protect her family. So regardless of what Tucker does, she wants to try to do what she can for her family. I think, like I said, I think regardless, she's fine. She knows she has Devon and Lily. They'll help take care of her regardless of the fallout. But no one really should be surprised by Tucker. He's actually playing the game of Monopoly correctly, unlike some people on this show.
But I guess my question is, how well does Mamie know Tucker? Is it they don't go like way back. Tucker came on the scene probably within the last 10 years. Mamie been gone. So the question is, how well do she know Tucker enough to actually listen to him or believe what he's saying? You know what I'm saying? If she really don't know what this is all about, I don't know.
I hope it comes out. I'm curious.
Me too.
Yeah. Yep. What? Now let's move over to the whole Audra and Kyle thing, girl. What y'all?
I'm
What?
like,
I'll let y'all go first. What y'all think about the whole Audra and Kyle jumping back in the bed? He's
you
so
want to go
stupid.
in?
Kyle's an idiot.
He's an idiot.
I'm like, I don't know who's worse, him or Liam, when it comes to just doing whatever the wind tells you. So this girl, she dumps you in the middle of a park, well, the same park, dumps you in the middle of a park, and then doesn't call you, and then she follows you, and she gives you a little pushback, and then all of a sudden you slip right back into the room with her. Let me say that, and without any questions about where she's been. You know that she's been involved with Tucker, and you were just willy nilly, just happy, and you're just okay with just answering all her questions, like nothing's going on. I'm about to give Kyle a nickname. I'm trying to come up with one. Give me a moment. I know I've given Liam plenty, but Kyle, he is going to get an honorary nickname, and I'm going to try to figure that out.
Oh, I saw something interesting in the chat. Belinda Hill. She said, y'all, Claire keeps talking about her great aunt. She says she feel like she's talking about Mamie, and maybe she's Mamie's great niece. What do y'all think about that? Because she claims she has no family. How? I mean, it's possible. There's a part of me, because she asking way too many questions, and I'm
Yeah, she is.
And she's
And
just
she is referencing her aunt a lot.
yeah, I don't know. We'll get to her, get to the Newmans in a minute.
Oh, what if she could be Nikki's niece? There was like something that she said like early this week, and it kind of reminded me of like how Nikki grew up, how her and Paul, like how Nikki and Paul grew up. There was something that she pointed out. Let me see if I can try to go back to that episode that made me think like maybe she might be Nikki's niece, and she wanted to be close to her family and get observation of what's been going on in Genoa City, so she can know before she reveals herself.
I see her coming onto the scene as more nefarious than trying to reconnect. Who was that? Was that Keisha? You was trying to say something?
I was just going to say, Jay's thinking that Claire might be related to Tucker.
I think
that could be true.
I'm thinking that girl got something to do with Tucker too. That man, could you imagine if he dropped a mole over Chancellor Winter, Jabot, and Newman? Girl, you talking about somebody that can have a toe in every corners of the water. I gotta say, that's a pretty good plot, though.
See, and I'm with Tucker. This is a soap villain. I love this side of Tucker. Either which way, he's entertaining, he's funny, and he's playing the game very well. He's not, being overly aggressive and, barking before you bite, unlike some people on the show. And I'm really curious to see what comes with him and Audra, because you see how quickly she was happy to be his gopher. All he did was say like, "Hey, go start something up with Kyle." She's like, "Okay."
Girl, but
it's wide open too.
But the thing is, girl, you so funny. The thing is that he keep promising that girl power, because he kept telling her, "You're gonna be the one that run it." I'm like, run what? You gonna let that girl run Chancellor Winters without a fight from Lily and Devon? Or Jabot? Wait a minute.
And what has she gained so far from him?
Nothing but some messed up sheets.
Well, she's always found a place of employment with Tucker. He's a man with money. Once again, she keeps people in her back pocket. She's a smart girl. So it's just transaction, literally. So he supplies something, she supplies something, and it's an even swap.
Yeah, that was. You're right.
It's got to be exhausting though, constantly scheming. Like the girl she's had some type of agenda, some type of scheme going since she stepped foot into Genoa City.
That's true. That is
You know who
true.
she reminds me of? And I feel like the writers are painting her this way. She reminds me of Hillary. The way Hillary came onto the scene, and she was in almost any and every storyline. They're using Audra the same way. They really like this girl. So she might actually be sticking. I think she might stick around as a character. So I she's a huge part as to why these storylines are moving the way they are now, and I'm very excited about this actress. But she's a mess.
Yeah,
The character itself is a mess.
yeah. Zalika Silver is doing an excellent job playing, playing her Audra Charles, because she's the glue to that whole storyline. She's the go
Yeah.
between Kyle and Tucker and Nikki. She got her hands touching eh, pretty much what, three storylines. She got a storyline between her and Tucker. She got a storyline between her and Kyle. She got a storyline between over at Newman with Nikki as being the COO, and
Her and
Victor.
Diane.
Her and Diane. I mean, she's the glue to these storylines.
Yep.
How about when she told Nikki, basically, I'm gonna keep seeing Kyle, and there's pretty much nothing you can do about it.
See, and that's why somebody told me in one of my recaps when I said, because Nikki been throwing threats around. She threatened Adam, she threatened Audra, she threatened at the party that she threatened Diane too. And I'm like, what you gonna do? And some people like, her threats aren't hollow. Well, I guess it was, because Audra still decided to see Kyle and she ain't do nothing about it.
And the only thing she could do was fire her.
And
But-
she didn't do it.
And Kyle doesn't work there anymore. So are you really now trying to control this chick's personal life?
I know, right?
Connected to people that are not working for the company? Like, that doesn't even make any sense, Nikki.
Yeah, I mean, he's no longer there. Now, did you guys see the Friday preview where she told Kyle to form an alliance with Tucker?
Yeah, I was kind of shocked about that.
Girl, but look at it, but the way she
What
said
if he
it.
says no?
If I was Kyle, I'll go back and run tell my daddy. I'd be like, look, I don't know what's going on, and I know y'all don't want me sleeping with Audra, but she want me to sign up with Tucker.
Oh my God.
I think he's going to use it to get Billy out of there.
Oh no.
He's gonna use it for his dad. He's gonna take his daddy's position. He's gonna help Tucker take over Jabot, and Tucker's gonna give him the CEO position.
I hate that.
That's gonna happen. And then Audra's gonna be the COO. That's why she's perfectly fine going to Nikki like, hey, you don't want me? I'm gonna see who I want to see. You want to fire me? Okay, fine. She always knows she's gonna secure a position. This is definitely gonna happen. He's gonna Jack is gonna be very betrayed by his son.
Well, this ain't the first time Kyle has ever betrayed him.
Very true.
He
He would be going back to the Kyle he was when he first came back to town.
Girl, this is going to be crazy. Oh my. I'm curious to see where that storyline is going to go. Hold on, let me look. You know what? Keep talking. I'm going to check something and see if they got any intel on that storyline. But go ahead.
And you know what would be funny? If Phyllis found out that Jack's son betrayed him, that Phyllis was the savior for finding that out. I mean, for Phyllis to be in Jack's good graces over his son, I think that this would be a really good storyline. I feel Kyle would do this for his own personal gain, because like him and Diane were discussing, like he's been in and out of the job. He's sleeping with a 304 who's making her way around town walking fast, and you have his divorce with Summer, and she's into the hot cop. So he's spinning his wheels and trying to find himself, but he's starting to turn out like his dad back in the day. He's looking like bad boy Jack, but a diet version, a very stupid diet version of Bad Boy Jack. But I feel he's going to move forward with this. That would be a really good storyline come 2024.
Well,
Yeah,
ladies,
I agree. He's definitely. I think he'll be appalled at 1st and then he's going to think about what he can gain from it. He's going to take her up on that offer.
Well, we'll find out on Tuesday, because that's on Tuesday, the 17th episode. So
my question is, if he does do that, what will Diane's reaction be? Because Diane kind of loves to make excuses for Kyle, but I don't know if she would side with Kyle over Jack unless she's really working with Tucker.
Oh, and that would make sense. Why Audra would want to bring Kyle over, because his mom might already be over there. We should be writers.
God, this is going to be ugly. I'm here for it.
Could you imagine? Imagine Kyle find out his mom was in cahoots and this whole time, and then he joins and takes her. Oh man, poor Jack.
Well, I
but
mean,
her and Audra have had scenes together alone, right? Diane and Audra.
Yeah, where Diane was chewing Audra out and saying like, you need to stay away. It's like you're a schemer. You're this, you're that, and I'm like, that's rich for Diane to say that. But yeah, there's been scenes in that regard. She could. I don't think Diane would have an issue with Audra working with Tucker. It's just Audra sleeping with her son. She would have a separate issue. I can see that.
Wow. Well, on the 18th, Diane is going to cross the line on something. That's the next day after that whole episode where Audra give him that proposition. So, that's going to be interesting. I gotta see. Yeah, I'm curious to see what his next move is. Is his next move to outsmart Tucker by saying, oh, I mean, God, he walked right into that. Oh, he got mad and didn't like the connection that he saw between Summer and Chance, and then you go jump in the bed with Audra. Audra don't give a rat's tail about you. She knew using her attraction was going to get you right in line with exactly she wanted to do. And now this woman is asking you to side with Tucker McCall. Man, this is going to be crazy.
But do you think that she made the decision to tell Kyle because maybe her feelings towards him are changing?
No.
Nope.
She wants a secure position. She puts men in her back pocket, literally.
Girl, she using him, and she's just having a good time out of it. I think she told Tucker that when Tucker told her, "Oh my God, you're glowing," she said, "Why not put a plan in order and have fun at the same time?" Something like that. Girl, she just.
So I wonder.
Go ahead.
If Tucker knows that, if her and Tucker. If that was part of their plan, was to bring Kyle in on it, or do you think she did that without Tucker's knowledge?
What, bringing Kyle in?
Yeah.
No, I thought Tucker asked her to. There was an episode
you think Tucker asked her to do it?
Yeah, he asked her to do that. Because she didn't want to do it.
No, he wanted her to rekindle the romance so she can get information out of him.
Exactly.
No, I got that part, but when she's like telling Kyle, basically, I want you in on this plan with me and Tucker. Do you think Tucker was aware of that?
Oh, aware of that part. That depends.
Do you think she's doing that on her own?
Okay, that depends, because that comes out on. Well, I haven't seen Monday's episode. I have the episode. I just gotta watch it. So it depends. If she have a conversation with Tucker on Monday, and Tucker tells Audra, try to get him in with us. And then on Tuesday, the episode where they are in bed together and she put that on the table, that's when we would know, for sure, if that instruction came from him or not. Now, if we don't see that and she's just going on her own, then, but I guess it would have to. Hold on, let me see. I think I did put the cliff notes out there for Monday. But
I just wonder why they would be willing, or even Audra, even if it is just her by herself, why would she be willing to risk their plan, trying to bring Kyle in on what they're doing?
Because he's the disgruntled one who would be on the inside. He could take like a low level, well, not a low level job, but like a low executive job, and he can still feed him information. It's still leverage. And he is stupid enough to do it. I mean, she's doing a whole negotiation. She's done all her negotiations in them sheets. It's from what I noticed. Business deals, everything. I'm just curious. I'm more curious to know if she's still going to be sleeping with Tucker, and if this is going to create a paternity storyline for Audra.
Oh my God.
Imagine.
Yeah, that's a good question. Okay, so to answer your question answer the question that I was looking for, it's not in Monday's episode at all of that conversation. They're not even in the Monday's episode. So that's a good point for whoever asked that, either you or Bree, saying where did the instruction come from for Audra to do that? Is that on her own, or whether she got instruction from Tucker? So I guess we got to see.
I'm curious.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Okay. All right, we got to talk about these Newmans, because that's the other side of the coin. So it looked, okay, first of all, and I'm not going to do my vent session, what the heck is wrong with these people that they just want to dump on Adam? I'm just over it.
Yeah.
It's overkill.
And he's not even in most of the scenes. He's not even in most of these scenes. He's minding his business, and they're talking trash about Adam. Victoria lives and breathes. Ugh, Adam. He's working today, and he's doing a good job. Ugh, I'm so over them.
Listen,
I just hate that Adam keeps putting himself in the position to be cracked on.
Yeah, that's true. He keep going back for the pounding. You know, I mean, it's like getting beat up, and then you get a chance to walk away, and then you go right back over there for the same people that just keep pounding on you. I mean, seriously. Why you keep trying to prove something to these people? They're not going to, they don't, I mean, Chloe, that whole thing with Chloe today was just ridiculous.
Yeah, that was
that was so unnecessary. She needs to go back off screen, because I can understand that her hate for Adam, that's never going to change. I do get that. But you need to speak with your friend. Speak with Sally. Sally has been making moves on her. I know this is going a little off course, but I hate when people do not let these other characters take accountability.
Exactly.
It's always Adam's fault.
Yeah.
I mean, even Sharon came from behind the door talking about, oh, what did you do now? And I'm like, girl, I started swinging at the air. I'm like, what? I'm serious. I mean, at first it was Nick, and that's that picture that's on my screen at the top. He's just gnashing his teeth and so upset about, you signed up for this. You walked yourself as an interloper. Okay, I'm going to save my vent session for later. I mean, he mad at the wrong person. It's kind of like you screwed up by your actions and you got played, but you want to blame somebody else for your guilt. You know what I mean? So,
and him even saying Adam is manipulating Sally. Like, manipulating her how?
This must be some Thomas Forrester type of hoodoo or something, to where he's making Sally show up to his apartment with food and spending time with him and kissing. Like, come on, he's this is like the worst. I'm gonna save my vent, but like, this is like the worst case of his midlife crisis I've ever seen. He literally is crying, pounding, and angry over a situationship he chose to be in, even after she was pregnant with his brother's baby. I do not get it.
Yeah, she skated through this whole thing between both these brothers. She skated through this. Now, not about the the losing of the baby. That's one thing that was very devastating. But I mean, she kept when Nick wasn't around, she was around Adam. When Nick came back, it's your brother is just and Adam is just infuriating and he's this and he that and then he go out of town and then she's sniffing around Adam. It's like, girl, please. And then Chloe sitting up there trying to talk her out of how she's feeling. I'm at this point, I wish Adam would just say, you know what? How about I just be over all of this? My brother's about to punch me in the face over you. And I got to give it to...
I don't even know why she... Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Keisha. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I don't even know why she talks to Chloe about Adam. Because she already knows what Chloe is going to say. It's like Hope talking to Brooke about Thomas.
Exactly. It's like, why would you do that? It's a broken record.
Right.
If you're trying to get advice, actually seek advice for someone who doesn't have an opinion about Adam. But that's going to be hard in Genoa City.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, who could she talk to that will just be unbiased? Nobody. But Chloe is the worst person. And then he tried to clap back at her by saying, well, maybe you should shoot me. And she was like, yeah, maybe I should, but I'm busy. I'm like, oh my God. She don't even care. I thought maybe, I was like, good comeback, Adam. Maybe she'll just walk away. Because she did try to shoot him. Blow him up. Yeah. And there's no remorse or anything over that. And I understand.
Oh, no.
What'd you say?
I said, oh no, of course not. It's always Adam's fault.
And I know it goes all the way back to Billy and Delia and all that. Unfortunately, Billy was irresponsible with a child at night in a car. I'm sorry. Take that up with, but to just keep pounding. Now, I gotta say, Adam did have some account in that because, he hid the scarf and burned it or, kept the secret because he didn't want to be outed for the one accidentally, hurt, hitting Delia. But, she wouldn't have been out there in the street in the first place. Take the girl in the store when you get some ice cream. Come on. You know what I mean? But I don't want to go way back there. But she's still pissed off about that. And then Chelsea, that whole thing with Chelsea and all that. Even Chelsea tried to poison him, Ray, and frame him for murder. But you mad at Adam? It's just crazy. It's just crazy.
And they are mad at him. Like the Newmans were mad at Adam because he tried to blackmail Audra, even though Billy and Jack just got that same information to use it for their own game, and no one has batted an eyelash.
Ooh, good point. Right. Good point.
So it's like, what are you guys mad at him for? So he's doing grunt work, try to prove himself for what? And then the thing that Victor did to purposely say Nick when Adam and Nate were leaving the office, at first I thought, okay, like maybe he might have dementia or something. That no, the fact that he did that purposefully. So you're trying to purposefully taunt your son to teach him what? What is this? I don't get the
toxic.
Exactly.
Girl, he's a straight up narcissist. All he knows is
toxic, so he responds with toxic. So why is he mad?
So you talking about when Victor called Adam Nick? That part?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's trying to play crazy as if to try to see which one of his kids is going to betray him. Because if his kids think that he is out of his mind, or his cognitive defenses are down, or he's forgetting things, he's wanting to see if either one of those kids would take advantage of this so-called weakness to try to say, aha. But that's toxic. I mean, You trying to get your kids to prove who's loyal. How is that any different from Phyllis trying to see if her kids love her by faking her death?
Right.
I mean,
and what have they really done to, like, what did they do to betray him? I'm not understanding where this test is coming from.
Girl.
Exactly. Because if we go a little bit back, didn't Abby, Nick, and Victoria get $500 million each from their father?
Exactly.
So, I mean, so what is he checking? He knows how all of his children are. There's no guesswork. We've seen for decades. Like, there's no guesswork. You know, Nick is never going to commit to anything. You know that Victoria feels that she runs everyone's company. And then you have Abby, who's just lost in the wind. And then you have Adam, who actually has the business mindset and he has Victor's name of all things and wants to take over and actually wants to showcase what he wants to do for the company. But you want to test your kids again for what? You're learning nothing new. We're not learning nothing new.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, what are you trying to find out? If somebody gonna slip something on you or change some paperwork or change a contract that affects you, and then you like, oh, so I see. If you think that I'm out of my mind, then you'll do something heinous. But that means you can't trust your own kids. You got what and Nikki was like, does that mean me too? You know?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, exactly. He gonna probably be watching you. He telling you I trust you implicitly, but that man don't trust nobody. Narcissists don't trust people. They don't. Nope.
And let's be honest. We knew Nikki was not qualified to be CEO at Newman Media. We know she reports back to her husband, so her husband's running that too.
Which that was the whole reason he put her in charge.
Exactly.
Yep. Now, here's the bad part of that, because just say, for example, this test that because I think he's fishing for information. Just say he don't get what he get and they put him in the hospital. Then what you gonna do? They take him over there to a memory clinic. Man, you know, I don't know what's going on with my dad. And the doctor like, well, yeah, he is giving symptoms. We're going to have to put you in the hospital for a couple months. But then what you going to do since you playing games?
Oh my goodness, I thought of something. You did a spoiler early this week where Summer, but actually this last live where Summer was by somebody's bedside where we can see who it was. Was that Chance or could that be Victor?
I don't think Victor's faking. A lot of people, it's a toss up because some people are saying it's Phyllis, some people are saying it's Chance. Now I've heard more of it being Chance, but you know.
I assume Chance, just based on that little conversation they had at the party. And she was like, she said something about how she didn't want anything to happen to him, or I can't remember how she.
Yeah, having a dangerous job and him not being out there. Yeah, so. But I don't think it's Victor. Victor is playing games, and according to what's going on toward the end of next week, is he's going to even accelerate that plan even further. And he's going to retaliate against an adversary. The question is, who is the adversary? Did he figure out who would try to betray him? Please don't let it be Adam. Because then we're going to go a whole nother year of Adam bashing. So, yep.
I can't. And it's so cringy to watch him be Nate's assistant.
I know, right?
Yeah.
When he was standing there running down all the laundry list of things that he did for him, which included picking up his dry cleaning. I'm like, are y'all serious right now?
The Harvard law degree Harvard Business School MBA is assisting a man who's only had 2 years of business experience. And then Victor had the nerve to say he trusts Nate now. Now they trust Nate. They need to make up their mind, but they can't trust Adam. I don't get it. Like they all do the same thing. Victor is they're the same person. I don't know.
Girl, all I know is the fact that I'm curious to see how this is going to play out. Because this is going to be real funny if this blows up in Victor's face or he actually finds out that one of his kids could actually flip the script on him. You know what I'm saying? So, because he was saying he don't believe Adam because he's working a job that he know that his son hates. So is he really doing this for the real, being for real about making this choice to work under Nate? And because he's talking about, I'm going to start from the bottom and work my way up just like everybody else. And I'm like, dude, who does that? You don't go get a master's degree or a PhD, and no knock to anybody in any of these positions. But then you go and you are a paper filer. You know what I'm saying? If you go to school to get a doctorate in technology or in the medical field to be a physician, you done work hard, racked up a bunch of student debt. I mean, unless there are hard times and you really can't find a job anywhere and, you're trying to find something, that's one thing. But this is his whole family. Dude, go start your own company. You got money. Keisha and I have been talking about this for the last 4 or 5 years.
They all have money, but they want to work under their dad, which I can understand if they want to keep family tradition, but their family's not all that great. I mean, I'm not saying in a bad way, but like, there's nothing happy that I think of when I think of the Newmans. They all have the same goal, which is to take over Newman Enterprises, except for Nick. Nick just needs a hug.
Nick needs to go somewhere and sit down in the corner and take a deep breath or something, because he's just, girl, he was on wheels on this episode today. I mean, he was just yelling over a kiss. Man, come on. I gotta read this comment though. Ruby Lancelin in the comments, and if you're a new person, because I haven't seen that name, welcome. She said, and I thought that's pretty interesting, Victor wants to retire. He needs to know which one of his children he can trust to fulfill his legacy, a multi-million-dollar company. What do you think about that? Should he test them to figure out who's sincere enough to take care of his legacy?
Child, they've been working for that company for how long now? If he don't know at this point, if Victor don't know at this point which one he can trust to run the company, then he need to sell that company.
Yeah. What if it's Victoria that was the one that flipped the script on her? I would like. So she can get kicked out.
If she did what?
If she was the one that betrayed Victor, like Cece said in the comment.
I could see that happening, but a strong part of me feels it's Nate who he's going to confront, because they didn't say if it was a family member who he finds out betrays him, because Victor stated he trusts Nate, and as far as we know, Nate has kind of just been in the background. He's listening to Victoria whine and plead and moan and everything, but I feel it might be Nate. He's been given the position out of everyone on the show that he's able to secure. He knows all the moving parts within Newman, especially since he's been dealing with Victoria and Victor. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was Nate who betrayed him.
Yeah.
And did Victoria seem a little jealous of that?
Yes.
Or was it just me?
Oh, okay, yeah, let's go back to, what was that, yesterday's episode? Her and Nate kind of got into it. And when they were at Society. Nate, Victoria and Nate. Yeah, because she was like, wait a minute, you treating Adam like this, because I guess Nate was like, just calm down and chill out. We had a plan to keep an eye on Adam. And she was like, I ain't patient enough, and you acting like you doing this, and you moving like you really want to give him a chance. And, they went back and forth. They wasn't seeing eye to eye in that conversation. Could that be possible cracks forming in that relationship?
That was a relationship?
Situationship is a relationship.
Okay, well, yeah, good point. Well, I don't think it would. It won't cause any damage to them either. Which way. I think that she's going to feel more betrayed that his loyalty shifted to her father, and Victoria is into who's loyal to her. That's why the men that she gets with, if that man is willing to go above and beyond for her, then she feels that's love until they do something destructive, or try to take over the company or try to, unalive her. But I feel like Nate is going to be the one who's going to betray them, and especially Victor. There's just something in that mix, and it makes sense if he gets fired from Newman and then comes back over to chance to win her somehow.
Yeah, because Mamie wants him back.
Exactly. And it would take him getting fired for him to actually leave Newman.
Because he ain't going to quit on his own.
Exactly.
Were you about to say something, Keish?
No, I was just agreeing.
Okay. A lot of people are saying this is probably going to be Victoria that betray him.
I can see that happening.
I could see that. I would prefer it that way. I think. Go ahead.
Yeah, it would be too. It would be too predictable if it was Adam.
Right.
Unless we see that it is Victoria who did it, but frames Adam for it. Not frames Adam, but uses Adam as a scapegoat in that case.
Yeah.
I can see her doing that.
Girl, well, we'll see. Yeah, thanks, Bree and Keisha, to get those likes up. Thank you. It is 92 of you guys in the chat. So if you are enjoying the content, make sure you hit that like button. If you are not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. We're about 70 or 80 away from 10K, and I will be doing a giveaway. So when we hit 10K, we'll do something special for you guys, stuff like that. And, I have a giveaway for you guys. So make sure you're subscribed. I do spoilers, early spoilers, recaps. We do lives. We have speculation videos and all types of fall previews, sweeps videos, all types of stuff on this channel for both the Young and the Restless and the Bold and the Beautiful. I don't do General Hospital or Days. I don't watch them. Not saying they're not good shows. I just can't get into them. So
I've tried myself, and I don't know what it is. I
can't get into it.
Any of the other soaps.
Yeah, I can't get into
networks.
It. Now, if you ask me about Sisters on BET, I can, Yeah. Do y'all watch those too?
Did you watch? I've never watched Sisters before, but I want to start. I used to watch The Haves and the Have-Nots.
Okay. I can't. That's the only show I watch by Tyler Perry.
What'd you say?
I usually watch a lot of dating reality shows. It seems like that's always on TV. So I watch Ready to Love. I watch Love Is Blind.
Yes.
And it's so there's just a lot of those shows I tend to watch. But Sisters, I think I watched the season 1 on BET. But it's a really good show though.
Oh, okay.
I love Love Is Blind.
Oh, so yeah, the reunion is Sunday. Yep.
It's gonna be something else.
Especially that whole thing with Uche, Aaliyah, and Lydia.
That was a mess.
That was a hot mess. But anyway, wrong show. Back to the soaps. that should have been a soap.
With all the scripting, yeah.
And then wait a minute, right quick, Bree, did you see the Ready to Love reunion part 1 and 2?
Oh my goodness! I can't wait to go back to watch. And
Miss Janelle and Quentin and Kara and Lee.
The messy, good messy, but I cannot wait. I'm gonna watch that back again. But yeah, if you guys haven't seen those shows, great shows. But yeah, I can't talk the way I want to talk.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna have to connect with you, Keisha. If you want in, let me know. But we gotta talk about Ready to Love, man, and Love Is Blind. Since y'all do that one, okay. I'm gonna have to do a little
Oh
separate thing
yes.
with y'all on that. Okay.
Okay. I'm with you.
All right. So anyway, I'm trying to think what else we had. Yeah, that whole thing. I'm gonna leave my whole vent session with this thing with Nicholas because he was hell on wheels on Friday episode. You mad at somebody because you chose wrong. You did stupid stuff. And then you want to take it out on him and the only flashback that I really, really enjoyed this week is the one with him thinking about the conversation with Victor. Because Victor was right.
Yep. Down to the T.
I mean, that girl going to be up and gone somewhere eventually. You still got to deal with your brother after she's long gone. Seriously. You know, and I mean, he wanted to punch him in the face. And Adam is like, what is wrong with you?
Over a kiss. What is with these men upset about a kiss? And these women have done far worse. That's why I cannot wait for Liam to find out what Hope's been. I can't.
But the crazy thing is,
salivating.
I could see if he was pissed off about what happened last December. So they had started dating and she slept with Adam. That's how she got pregnant, okay? You ain't want to punch him then, but you want to punch him over a kiss after a drunken dinner. He left. He didn't go in the room.
At that time, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Keish.
I was going to say, at that time when her and Adam slept together, her and Nick weren't officially dating. They had just been messing around with each other. But they weren't in a relationship, so there really wasn't nothing Nick could say.
Girl,
other than, well, maybe this isn't a good idea for us.
Listen, the girl, he was stupid for that. There is no way if I'm interested in somebody, I'll walk into a room where y'all just slept together, and the person is walking right back out, and I'm be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna keep seeing you.
I don't disagree with you.
Girl, that
he
was
didn't
crazy.
wake up and smell the aroma as he walked. He should have knew from the aroma that just not a good situation for him to be in.
Girl, come on. That stench, the bed was messed up. It covers all thrown everywhere. And she was still in her robe as he was fixing his clothes, walking out the door. And you was going to be like, okay, I want to keep seeing you. Nobody in their right mind to do that.
And then kissed him the next day. I was like, oh. my goodness.
It was so cringy. That whole little that scene where Adam was leaving her room, that whole little sequence was very cringy.
I mean, seriously, and then you find out the girl is pregnant by your brother and you still screwing her. What? Come on. I mean, even Sally, you got this man's the guy that you're seeing, you're carrying his brother's kid, but you still want to sleep with him and he still want to sleep with you. That whole storyline just sucked to me.
And then he get mad over a kiss.
Mm-hmm.
A kiss.
Ooh.
And all the things. These men are extra sensitive about these lips, about these women kissing these other men. So what is he gonna do if she slept with him? Well, maybe it's a good thing that they broke up that non-relationship. Maybe that's a good thing because it was going nowhere fast, but I mean they enjoyed the ride from hotel to hotel.
Did you see what J Money just wrote? That boy is crazy.
I'm sorry.
I couldn't hear you.
Oh my god.
Oh, J Money. He is stupid.
Now, J Money. Now, keep in mind that couch over at Forrester Creations. Could you imagine
the one that Douglas said on the same day?
Hey, Keisha. Yes. Keisha, you sound just a little muffled. Okay.
What about now?
Oh, that's better. Go ahead. What'd you say?
Okay. I said the same couch Douglas sat on the same day.
Oh
The
my
same day,
God,
Hope
girl.
and Thomas.
I know, right? Girl.
Literally, the first thing I thought when they went and sat down on that couch was, "Oh my gosh!" They literally just had a love scene on that couch.
Oh, it's. I mean, I guess that's what make it so soapy, though. You know that the two brothers and a girl, but this is that whole storyline with Adam and Nicholas and Sally. And with a baby involved in the middle of that, and now you mad. Like Bree said, over a kiss. All this didn't happen for the past year almost, but now you're mad and you want to punch this dude in
I
the
think
face.
yeah.
Go ahead, Keith.
I think for both Nick and Liam, it was because of who the kiss was with, not necessarily the kiss itself.
Good point.
That's what they mad
That's a
about.
good point. But see the difference with Nicholas and all of them. I don't even think this started out about him truly finding Sally attractive. She's a gorgeous girl. It was more about him being pissed off at Adam and always coming behind him after Adam always. Same thing with Chelsea. Same thing with Sage. It's like, come on. Mm-hmm. Can't you find your own girl?
It's almost like he was trying to be the hero.
Right.
He knew that Adam hurt her, so let me come in and save you from the big bad Adam.
Right. You know, but at the end of the day, though Chelsea did it for a while. Now here comes Sally, but I still feel some kind of way about Adam. Then just go be with him. Cut it out.
Right.
But I would hope Adam be like, you know what, this is just way too much for me. She be by
herself. That's what I need him to do instead of chasing her around.
Well, girl,
like even
listen.
In today's episode, standing at that table, can I just talk to you for a minute? Like, stop begging her.
For real, she's not worth the begging or the pleading, nothing. And I can't wait to save my rent about her tonight because that's my issue. She's my biggest issue on this show.
Girl, okay, cool. I think we covered one other thing. Well, I kind of talked about that for next week's spoiler, but that whole look between Mamie and Tucker, they look like, and Devon like, do y'all know each other? It's like, you know.
Right.
But yeah, so based on the spoiler for next week, you know, Phyllis is going to uncover that. But did we cover everything else? I'm not even, are y'all getting this whole Heather and Daniel storyline? What do y'all think about that?
Oh, Keisha.
Did, what is his name? Did Daniel tell Lily that she moved back?
No, not yet.
That's coming out on Monday.
I didn't like how he was all up in Heather's face when they were at the GCAC, standing at the door. Mm-hmm. And he's like, yeah, we'll have drinks later. And I'm like, why are you having drinks with your baby mama? When you have a girlfriend?
Is he divorced?
Are they divorced?
I'm assuming they got divorced because Heather had a boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Hope has a whole side man, but she's still married.
Yeah, but I guess I assumed with these two that all of that was taken care of off camera.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I assumed that their divorce had been final for a while. But it was just, and it was almost as if he forgot that he was dating Lily. Like the way that they were talking to each other, almost in a kind of a flirty fashion. And now you planning to have drinks with her? Like, why are you going to have drinks with Heather?
Exactly.
Why are you acting like you're not currently dating somebody right now?
And look what Rachel Williams just said in the comments. She said, and did you guys hear that Daniel said the three of us can be a family again?
Yeah, that was the other thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, like, they said
that's not misleading because obviously I think Heather wants to work things out with him. That's what I think. So even if Daniel didn't mean it in a way of I want to maybe work our relationship out romantically, that's very misleading. It's almost I can't even compare it to what Liam and the conversation that Liam had with Hope, because there was nothing in his conversation that indicated he wanted to get back with her. But I don't know, to say something like that to me, you're saying that you want to work things out between us so we can be a family again.
Gotcha.
But I don't think that's what Daniel meant.
Okay.
I wish I knew. I wish if while they're doing these flashbacks, they could have did like a little flashback with him and Heather, so you can kind of see like a little insight. Like, hey, did they argue a lot? Did he have a drinking issue? Because we don't know why their marriage fell apart still. Except for the fact that they said that he was verbally like argumentative or something to that effect, right?
Yeah, it made it sound like he was, whatever he was, abusing alcohol, whatever it was he was doing, he just became very mean and like really hard to live with. And I remember them saying it was almost like he, I don't want to say jealous, but it was like he had an issue with how successful Heather was in her career, while I guess he was having issues with his, like his career was stalled or something like that. And it was basically taking it out on her because she was thriving and he wasn't. So it was like he was jealous and unsupportive of her.
Oh yeah, that is true. Now Jenna said that they're separated; they're not divorced yet. And then Janet Zach said, "I think Nate likes Claire." But I think you're talking about on Monday's episode. Don't they bump into each other or something? Or was that on a Friday preview? I saw that.
Claire and scenes together.
Yeah, I think it might be. Maybe she watched Monday's episode. But anyway, and then Lucy wants them back together. You got these kids wanting these parents back together. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to be a problem. But the thing is, because Crystal Khalil is going on maternity leave soon, that's probably going to open the door for Heather and Daniel. You know what I mean? Because Lily will be off canvas for a little while. When she had her baby. You know, yeah, she can't catch a break. At first it was Billy and Chelsea, because Chelsea is on her way back too. I think she might be already filming. So we'll see what that.
I forgot about Chelsea.
Yeah.
Billy hasn't mentioned her at all.
No, Billy has just been doing his own thing. Now, she had her baby. When did Melissa Claire Egan have her baby? Like the end of June, I think it was. June 27th.
Was that long ago?
Yeah, but remember, filming is like 4 to 6 weeks ahead. So they probably filmed what we're seeing now like toward the end of August. So if I don't know how long their maternity leave, which would be 60 days for her, if that was the case. So I know I've heard she's supposed to be back in filming. So we should be seeing her pretty soon. But my question is, where they going to work her into the storyline? Like you said, you forgot about her. It's not like she's been missing in there. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing you have a character missing. Like, we want Steffi back. Not saying we don't want Melissa Claire Egan back, but or Jacqueline. Jacqueline, we won't, because we know there's some storylines attached to her. With the Sheila thing, with Finn, with the whole thing with these kisses, with Liam. But there's no storylines tied to the Chelsea character to say, where is she? I can't wait till she get back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because what was going on with her before she left, other than the issues that Connor was having?
That's the only thing I remember. She got a job, didn't she? Yeah.
Working with Marchetti.
Correct. That was it. That's the only thing I can remember. She really didn't have like a robust storyline that's like, oh my God, we need her back to see what she do next. Like they did with Jacqueline playing Steffi.
Yeah.
And Mariah is out right now because the other thing is she's pregnant. Cameron Grimes is pregnant too. So I think she's due in December. I don't know how much of a storyline they're going to give her, because unless they play it off with her wearing big bags and purses and stuff like that. But she already got the new baby that they adopted. So I didn't see her in the spoilers for next week. So it looked like, maybe she'll be in and out every now and then until she go on maternity leave.
I mean, she ain't really, between her and Tessa, they never really have too much of a storyline anyway. It's like they pop up every once in a while, and when they do, it's...
Yeah, because the baby hearing storyline... Yeah, the baby hearing storyline didn't really go too far. They were concerned about whether she could hear or not, and then they just kind of left it there. You know what I'm saying? They were focused on this whole thing with Tucker and Victor and all of this stuff, so... Yep. Okay, so go ahead.
What about Phyllis and Daniel and their little interaction this week?
Talking about Danny?
Danny, sorry.
Oh, yeah. Danny. That's right.
So what y'all thought about that?
I thought it was weird how the reaction that Phyllis had to Danny saying that he still cares about cricket.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, she'll be back next week.
Because it's like it's like you and Danny haven't even interacted in how many years, and you're still giving that kind of a reaction?
Exactly. That's why Phyllis was like, "You still got a thing for cricket?" He was like, "I always love her." Yeah, but you ain't answer the question, dude. Do you still have a thing for her? Yes or no? So,
but she just seemed very annoyed about it, and that's what I didn't get. Like, I understand that she doesn't like Christine, but it was almost as if she was bothered by the fact that Danny might still have feelings for her.
I gotta agree with Jenna on this one. I don't know if Danny and Christine's storyline is going to be interesting.
No.
It will if Phyllis is involved.
And my thing is, like, he's not even Phyllis's type at all for her to even be, like, open, like, wanting to care about who he's in love with or who he still has feelings for. So I'm really hoping this is not going to be a love story arc between these three. No, everyone has grandchildren. No, we don't need to see that.
Listen,
I'm here for it.
That ship has sailed. It's like, do we have to watch a whole triangle between those three? I'm not interested in that.
I'll watch it.
You'll watch it?
I said I'll watch it.
Yeah, I mean, just to get through, but they better make it interesting. It's like, okay, so I mean,
mainly because I'm sick of Phyllis in this whole little arena with Jack and Diane and Tucker. Like that, I feel like if they push her over there with Danny and Christine, it's a whole different storyline, and it's not her in the middle of that mess that she's been in the middle of for the last year and a half or however long it's been since Diane has been back.
J Money.
It'd just be something different.
Did you see what J Money just wrote?
Yep, and he's not lying.
I'm like, oh my God.
And there's nothing wrong with the actor, but I just don't see like how Phyllis could I couldn't see the love, attraction, even when she was conceiving her son with him. I don't really see what she would want out of him. I don't know. Plus, I think she's going to go back to Jack anyway.
Which is why they did a disservice by kicking out the guy that she was with. What was the name that she ran a plan with?
Jeremy Stark.
Yeah, that guy would have definitely, if they had fixed him up, cleaned him up, his character just a little bit, and they could have been a hot couple.
I agree.
But they turned it into this whole crazy thing. Go ahead.
No, they really did. But I feel like Ashlyn Locke's character, he should have stayed around. But it's like, and I feel like they realized they got rid of the major character who could have had a major storyline. Mm-hmm. So they had to bring somebody back, and I think that's why they brought Tucker back.
They had to.
Fill that void.
When you got rid of Jeremy Stark and you got rid of the Ashlyn Locke, You know, you need something that's going to bring contrast to the town. Because if there was no Tucker, could you have this? If the soap would be boring right now. Right now, Tucker and Audra, like we said, are the glue to several storylines. They're intertwined in at least 3 different storylines. Just those 2 people alone.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And entertaining, and I don't think they're going to go anywhere. They can't go anywhere. Otherwise, what else are we watching?
Exactly. You know, so, I mean, Tucker, he is funny. And I forgot his real name. But, I mean, he got some comedy. He can play stoic. Trevor St. John. Yep. He can play so many different emotional faces and characters and all types of things, and he's just an interesting guy to watch. Bringing him on was a positive to the show as a villain, though. You know what I mean? So that's just my thought to it. All right.
I even enjoyed him when he calmed down a little bit. When him and Ashley started getting serious, but just because he's just naturally funny.
Yeah, he's just funny. Exactly. He is too funny. When he was sitting at that bar and everybody was arguing back and forth, and he was like, "I'm just here for my drink." I was rolling. He'll just throw something funny out there. But then he can also turn on the rage. You know, when he was yelling at whoever, and I'm like, dang, he can switch off his emotions so quickly. So he does a good job at that.
Very talented. I hope he gets nominated for an Emmy, because this whole year has been Tucker. Like, out of all the characters, he has been a huge focal point. Very talented actor.
Yes, he is. That was a plus. Yeah. And even, I gotta say, even though I don't know if you want to call her Cert or Celie or whatever, but Audra, the girl is talented. How she moved through town and very cunning and, you know, that type of thing. I don't know about sleeping with Tucker and Kyle, but, you know, I guess that's part of the storyline.
At the same time, she had to fill a void for Hillary, too.
That is true. Because when they got rid of Hillary, they tried to bring on Ray's ex-wife. What was her name?
Oh, what's her name?
Mia had a little...
I loved her.
Yeah.
Loved Mia.
Mm-hmm. Mia had a little spice.
She was the worst, but I loved her.
She was the worst, but so they always got to bring that spicy woman, or that woman that brings some edge. And Hillary did that. Mia did that. And now we got Audra. And who knows what's up with Claire? Because Claire is sneaky to me. It's something about that girl.
And Audra was quickly threatened. You see that? She went ahead, got on her tablet, and was trying to do the research. Like, what are you so scared of? That's why I feel like Audra is one of the smartest women of that show, because the way she is leveraged and how quickly she acts on things, unlike Sharon, who has to wait for 3 people to tell her, and it's like, oh my God, this is what happened? Okay. No. Very talented actress, but the character itself has been one of my favorites on the show so far.
Yep.
But Tucker overall this whole year.
Yeah. Yep, I agree. I totally agree. Okay. Did we cover everything?
Yeah,
I believe we did.
I believe we did. We had a little conversation with Devon and Abby, you know, and Lily and all of that about Mamie and stuff like that. But, you know, nothing major. I don't think, unless y'all got... Go ahead.
The only thing I didn't like about that conversation was they know Jill is going to Detroit, I guess, to look into whatever it is that Mamie has going on. I'm like, how are y'all okay with this? She's still y'all's family. I don't care if you do work for Jill. It's just odd to me how against Mamie they are, or against her actions, I guess I should say. And I don't know. I just couldn't sit back knowing that somebody is going to, I guess, snoop on my family and not say anything. But it was almost as if they were talking about somebody that they had just met last week or something.
Yeah, because I mean, that's
I
still
don't know.
your that's still your auntie. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like, but Devon is on the fence. He's in the middle. Like, I don't know this lady. I don't even know her long enough to trust her. Whereas it seemed like
And I don't like that
Lily.
either.
Yeah, I ain't like that part either. Whereas Lily is like, oh,
But
it's
that
nice
made
to have,
sense.
Aunt Mamie around. So she's a little bit more in than Devon is. What are you about to say, Bree?
That
Yeah.
that makes sense because Devon was adopted. He was
Cor-
adopted as a teenager. So he's not gonna have that relationship with Mamie. Whereas Nate and Lily, they had their mothers. Their
Mm-hmm.
mothers, grew up with each other. So they grew up with Mamie. They had more of a bond. So that makes more sense why Mamie was really trying to put Lily and Nate together so they can try to work on their family bond, versus she didn't really care too much as far as Devon. I think she acknowledged that was Drew's adoptive son, but I don't think they'll ever really have that relationship.
I guess I don't like how I feel like the show could have, they could have fixed that by alluding to the fact that Devon had gotten to know her over the years, even if it was off screen. But for them to, I don't know. I don't like that. There's no relationship there between her and Devon, because Mamie was extremely close to Drew and Olivia. So I don't know. It's just weird to me that they wouldn't have formed some kind of relationship. So I just wish that maybe in the background that would have happened instead of it being, I don't know this lady. Or even with Mamie just focusing on Lily and Nate and basically, oh, hey, Devon. But Lily and Nate, you're really the ones that are important. Because that's kind of messed up too, because Lily loves Devon like a brother. And Nate loves Devon like a cousin, or did at one point. I mean, I'm sure they still love each other, but they were, they were close.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't like that. I just don't like how they're doing the Winters family right now,
Yeah.
or how they have been doing them for the last however long it's been since the whole drama with Nate started.
Keisha, J Money said something to you in the comments. Yeah, somebody said they love a good snake. I agree with you. Who wrote that? Gail. Because she says something is definitely up with Claire. I love a good snake. Yeah, I want to uncover the mystery. I want to know what's up with this girl. But the jury could be out. She could be Mamie's niece. Great, because she keeps talking about this great aunt. You know what I'm saying? Somebody in the comments wrote earlier that could it be that Catherine Chancellor was her great aunt? And
Oh,
I don't understand how would she be Mamie's niece?
I don't know. That's what somebody was saying. And somebody was also saying that Catherine Chancellor could have been her great aunt too. So
that's a good point.
I don't know.
Or Jill.
Make her Devon's cousin.
Good point.
Oh wait, yeah, would that be cousin?
Well,
if she's related to Catherine, then yeah, she'll be related to Tucker, and they'll be Devon and her will be cousins.
But the key part to that, because of something about her is nefarious to me, the key part to that is if anybody that she's related to is Tucker. All roads from this girl somehow, for me, and I could be wrong, leads back to Tucker McCall. Because she is just asking way too many questions. And Nick, okay, right quick, because I know we've been on Young and the Restless for an hour and a half. The whole thing with Nikki going around at that reception, giving her a whole rundown of everybody in town. I'm like, why is she even at this reception? Why is she there?
Yeah, I didn't get that either.
She's your work assistant.
Well, I didn't get why half of those people was there.
Well, yeah, I know. We kind of talked about that last week. Yeah, why was your work assistant there at the reception that you really didn't even want to be at yourself?
Exactly. That I was surprised she even accepted the invitation. It's like, what was it for?
And then she come up there putting, if you ever hurt Jack, I'm like, stop with the hollow threats. Audra just called your bluff 10 minutes ago. What you gonna do with Diane? So don't just cut it out already. All right. Now I think we covered everything, right?
Yes.
Yes, we
Okay.
did.
All right. Let's move on over to bold. But before we do a little housekeeping, it's about a little over 110 people in this chat. Make sure that you subscribe, hit the like button if you are enjoying this content. We have fun over here on Friday nights with the soaps, both the Young and the Restless. We're about to do the Bold and the Beautiful. Instagram, TikTok, X, which used to be Twitter, and Threads. All types of content over there. Clips, videos, fun stuff over there too. There's a blog. I did put the link to one of the blogs in here early this week. The Monday's episode blog is already up. And also the full spoiler blog is already up for both soaps. So if you want to check that out, I'll drop that blog again in the community tab. So make sure that you subscribe so you can see all of that. I should, you know what? Maybe I can drop it in the chat. Let me see. So if you guys want to go over there, you can follow and you'll get a notification of I'll drop it in the chat. Okay, you guys. So you'll get a notification. Let's see. Did that link pop? Oh, okay. Okay, there we go. If you see Romance Review TV, that's my other channel with all of the dating reality show recaps on there. But that's the link in the chat. It's CBS Soap Dish Spoilers.blogspot.com. And you can hit the follow button and you'll get the spoilers before I do the video. Alright, you guys? So, there you have it. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into the Bold and the Beautiful, because I know y'all ready for that. We're going to do a summary, and then we're going to break down the storylines, okay? Alrighty, give me 1 second. Okay, so
we all have a huge problem with Brooke.
I know.
Sorry, go ahead.
Girl, listen, we do. You're right. Okay. So, for the week of October 9th through the 13th, Finn tells Sheila to go back to Genoa City, while Hope is excited about the information from Finn. Deacon and Sheila tell a very shocked Hope that they are in love, and Lee catches Luna at Forrester. Hope is upset with Deacon and Sheila, and Luna tries to resign, but RJ stops her with the kiss. Brooke's jaw drops when Hope reveals Deacon in love with Sheila, and Luna confesses to RJ, and then RJ goes up against Lee. Brooke demands Deacon to tell Sheila to get lost, and Hope can't get Finn out of her head. Let's go ahead and start with this RJ and Luna situation. What did you guys think about okay, let's just, I don't want to jump to Friday's episode. What do you think about RJ and how he's moving with Luna?
He's very trusting of Luna than he is Thomas. I noticed that. First let me point something out. Do you guys see the intro?
Yes.
They put this girl in the intro.
Yep.
I was surprised they put her, Lee. They switched everything around really quickly because this girl just got hired. But I was very surprised at how trusting that he is. He's not really trying to look and try to dig into information as much as he was up around like Hope and Liam and begging and pleading and so involved. He's just opening up about what's going on with his family. I don't get him when it comes to her, but he's thinking with a different head.
Okay, what you got, Bree? What you got, Keish?
I'm just glad that RJ is out of grown folk business and he's starting some business of his own.
I heard that, girl.
But I agree with Bree. He is very trusting of her to tell her everything that's going on with Eric, and I guess he did that last week. It's just odd that he's sharing all this information with this girl that he's only known for a few weeks. But they cute or whatever.
Yeah, they're rushing this storyline along too fast for me. You can't tell your mama, you can't tell your daddy, you can't tell nobody about what's going on with Eric. And I know he's caught in the middle of that, but you tell her, and then you all of a sudden you falling for her and you locking lips with the girl. I'm like, the girl just got here what, about a week and a half ago, something like that.
I'm okay with the kiss. It's the telling of the business that it's a little much for me. And also that outfit.
Dewan said they probably get married this weekend.
Oh Lord, Brooke would not allow. Brooke would not allow it.
Neither would Lee.
Oh, let's talk about Lee, because I saw the comment section when Lee went off on Luna, and people was like, who is she to sit up there and tell this girl where she can work and all? What do y'all think about that? Was Lee out of place for doing that?
So she absolutely was.
I don't know.
Uh-oh, what you got, Bree?
I feel away because the first thing that came to mind when Luna was talking about her mom, she was like, my mom's a free spirit. And I'm like, okay, so that explains a lot. There's a lot of free spirits like Brooke on the show. Lee was already saying her sister was sleeping around with people at her job. I'm really thinking maybe her sister slept with Lee's husband, and maybe this might actually be Finn's other sibling and she wants to keep that quiet, or maybe she feels like embarrassed, or like it feels like it might be a disgrace. I don't know. But when she kept saying her mom's a free spirit, I already knew what time was up. I knew what that meant. And I think that maybe she just wants to protect her son. I think it comes down to her son. She doesn't want her family infiltrating and, try to get money out of him, try to get certain, how people can be sometimes, and especially when they're money hungry. So I can understand Lee for at least saying something. She can't stop this girl, but, obviously she has a lot of influence, and I think it's because whatever her mom did affected Lee, and I think it has something to do with her husband. I guarantee it.
Yeah, I think her husband got something to do with this. This girl and her pet, it's supposed to be more to come out next week with Luna. Because if this is just the only story that her and her mom can't get along and they don't talk to each other, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So it's got to be something deeper. Yeah. It's got to be something deeper with that. What did y'all think about RJ putting Lee on notice? He was like, because she was like, this is family business. You need to stay out of it. He was like, this is Forrester business, and it is my business. And you can't tell her to quit. She works for us, and she ain't going nowhere. Huh?
RJ absolutely overstepped.
Really? You think so?
That wasn't none of his business. To call Lee in there and tell her...
Oh, that part. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that was overstepping to me. Mm-hmm. That's Luna's responsibility to stand up to her aunt. I could see if maybe Lee showed up and RJ wanted to express to her, like, I don't know what y'all got going on in your personal lives, what's going on in your family, but we like Luna here and we want her to stay, and I'm not accepting her resignation. But to call her up there to try to check her about it was, to me, overstepping, because you're getting in the middle of their family business.
What you got, Bree?
And how could he have any sort of say so? He's barely an employee there himself, and Luna is just an intern. This is not like a executive level position. So if anyone is really out the door, it's either one of them, because RJ, he decided now that he wants to be a designer. We haven't seen anything from him just yet. And then you have Luna, who's just trying to find a job. She can find another job someplace, but this the entitlement that RJ felt. He gets that from his mother. So, and it's unfortunate, but he's going very hard for this girl that he just met, and it's very irritating. I kind of want the storyline to be kind of done and over with. I want it to be revealed that she is Lee's husband's daughter or something. Something has to be explosive for everything to be this rush and for us to be this involved and for her to be in the title credits now.
Right. And I think whatever it is, I don't think Luna is aware. I think all Luna knows is that her mom and her aunt don't get along. I don't think she has any idea of how deep it goes or the details of what exactly happened or that even that something did happen than just them not getting along with each other.
You don't think so?
Yeah, I don't think Luna, because of the way, to me, the way that she talked to RJ about it, I think if there was more to it when she was explaining it to him, I think her tone of voice would have been a little bit different. But even when she was talking to Finn, I know that's jumping ahead a little bit, it wasn't like you know how on the soaps, if there's more to a story, you can tell that the character is holding back information and only giving half of it. And to me, the way that she was speaking about it, it just felt like all she knows is that their mothers hate each other.
So you think that there's some part of the story that she don't know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which to me, if that's the case, it's unfair for Lee to treat her like that, because all Luna knows is that she just doesn't get along with her mother. And that was all that she talked about when Lee confronted her. All she said was something like, we tried to do everything we could for your mom. We gave her a job at the hospital. And what did she do? She went and had an affair with a doctor.
She said
that was all that she talked about.
Mm-hmm.
She said she had an affair with a doctor or something like that. But all she talked about was her mom and how much of a disgrace her mother is. She never said anything personally about Luna. So I think that's it's crappy of her if Luna is not aware of whatever this deeper secret is, and she's treating her niece the way she's treating her. Like she basically hates her niece because she hates her sister.
What do you think, Bree?
I agree with that. I feel, because I was really going back and forth with whether or not they might be bringing on Finn a sister, because that's the only thing I can really see regarding bringing Luna on. I don't see anything else unless it's just to expand Finn's family, which I'm all for that. I'm hoping that they go into more detail and maybe Luna's mom might actually show up on the show and confront Lee, because I want to know, because if her sister slept with Lee's colleague, that's really out of Lee's control. She had nothing to do with that. That man, he broke up his own marriage. So what? So it had to be something that really affected Lee directly. And the only thing that I can think of is her husband. That's the only thing.
Yeah. That's possible.
Yeah, for her to have the type of reaction she's having.
Yeah. Well, it looked like part of this is to extend the family, because Tanner Noblin was saying in an interview how he was thrilled to see his TV family growing. So that's probably why they threw them into the credits as well, because, I mean, that was quick. The girl just showed up on screen like 2 weeks ago and she already in the credits. So
did they have, was Lee in the credits before this week?
Nope.
I just recognized it today.
Nope. Okay. Lee's in the credits. Paris is still in the credits. I think they got rid of Zendaya.
No, Zendaya was there. They got rid of Rena finally, though.
Mm-hmm.
Zendaya was in the credits.
I got you.
But they took Rena Sofer's picture down.
Yep.
Oh, wow. Well, that makes sense. I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's something going on.
I'm all for Lee's family, or not Lee. Lee's family expanding, because I like Lee as a character. She's a little firecracker.
Mm-hmm. So, but it's something going on between them sisters that nobody but them know about. Because the
Yeah.
daughter don't know. Finn is going to, according to the spoilers, he's going to confront his adoptive mom, his mom. He's going to confront Lee about what happened with Luna next week. And I'm curious to find out what more to the story is there. Because Luna don't know
Me
the
too.
full story. Those sisters do. So,
Yeah.
you're talking about sleeping with a colleague. Okay. Who else was it? Was it somebody that you was dating? Because she is really mad about... I mean, is there a problem with somebody sleeping with a coworker if it's somebody at your job if it's consensual? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what's the
Yes,
big deal?
that happened. If you have family members who are associated with, for certain jobs, I do know this, if you're associated with a family member at that particular job and you
Mm-hmm.
get involved and it causes disruption for the job, then yeah, that employee gets fired.
Okay, so maybe that's the
It's
storyline that they're going with.
It's got to be something more than because how I don't know. That would be such what is the phrase I'm looking for? Anticlimactic that their issue the reason why they hate each other is because she had an affair with a coworker that we don't even see or know.
exactly, but we'll see. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool beans, cool beans. But yeah, I don't know. That whole thing, RJ was throwing weight around. My grandfather and my father, they like her. So she ain't going nowhere. So you can forget about it.
But you know what I like about Lee is she didn't. And I mean, what could RJ do to her or any of the Forresters? But she didn't back down from RJ. She was
She
like, "This
did
is family
not.
business.
Yeah,
You need to mind yours."
well, what it's going to come down to is what is Luna going to do? RJ wants her there. Auntie don't. What you going to do? Are you going to
Yeah.
stay there and deal with your
I mean,
Are you going to stay there and deal with your personal family business, or are you going to stay there and continue to work with the Forrester business? So pick a business. Which one?
her aunt hate her either way, so she may as well do what she wants to do.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a good point.
Yep. I
And
agree.
you see how comfortable the fact that RJ is very, very comfortable throwing his weight around. I'm curious to see that direction go in when he gets to like speaking with Thomas and try to throw that around, or when he wants to try to like have his own line. I'm curious to see if he's going to be Brooke's son versus Ridge's son, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
He's absolutely Brooke's son. We already know it.
He gonna sit there and say, "I won't allow this."
Mhm.
Goodness! Oh goodness!
Brooke's favorite line.
Yep. Yeah, because that line was used a few times this week by multiple people. I won't allow it.
Yep. Hope, Finn. Oh, those two. Ugh. Hope, Finn, Brooke, Red. I think they all
Lee.
said that. Yeah, Lee. Yeah,
Mhm.
it was definitely used.
I'm like, dang, the writers obviously love that phrase. I won't allow it. Okay, well, yeah, whatever. All right, moving on to another storyline. We got to talk about. Let's go ahead and get Hope and Thomas out the way because we only saw him briefly for this week, which was today.
Yeah, it was unexpected.
Yeah, I mean, Hope is giving him the cold shoulder because of what Finn said. Oh my God, what do y'all think about that?
Hope being her typical weak self, letting other people influence what she feels and what she thinks. Like, girl, if you can't figure this out, then you need to cut off the banging sessions with Thomas. Like, if it is this difficult for you that you don't know what to do, then stop playing with this man's emotions.
I agree.
And giving him hope. Because he, like we said last week, Thomas said that it's inevitable. Like, inevitable. So, like, this man thinks that this is going to happen.
And not only that, Taylor told her last week what could happen, the fact that her son has feelings for his own mother came to her, and Hope had no problem putting her foot down when it came to Taylor.
Right.
But all of a sudden you talk with Finn and like, oh, he's very insightful, even though you guys had rarely had any conversations up until this point. Now you listen to him and you want to give the man who's telling you you're the only woman for him, you're giving him that cold shoulder, as if you really had any other option on the show as far as a man only wanting you, just you, only boring Hope. Come on now. And how can you think you can go to any other man? I mean, are you trying to go back to Liam? I don't understand what her end result is. And I can understand if they just want the character kind of to be figuring out, okay, don't say things to Thomas that makes him think that you want to be with him. Right. If just hop off of it. You didn't had a lot of mileage with this man thus far, I guarantee it.
Well, listen.
I mean, the first day he put 12 hours in. So that's a work shift, time half, and overtime, whatever the case is. She already knows what this man's about. She keeps going back to it. So there's something that he's doing for her that's working.
Right.
So it's like give him the cold shoulder for what? Just to keep confusing him? You're just as wrong as everyone keeps saying Thomas is wrong all the time.
Yep. I would have preferred, and don't get me wrong, I love their love scenes. But if this was the path that they were going down with her indecision, but still jumping in his bed, I would have preferred this be a time where she was legit just single by herself, trying to figure herself out and not dragging Thomas along down this road with her. And her and Thomas maintaining the, I guess, platonic relationship that they had before Rome, and him just being there for her as a friend only. And not expressing any of that love crap to each other, or him to her, and what happened the day that Liam told her he wanted a divorce at Thomas's house. Like, I would have preferred none of that happen, and they just for real let Hope find herself, and then start discovering a relationship with Thomas. But. And I know people keep saying it's a slow burn. This is a slow burn. She can't jump in anything. That's great. But how about during the slow burn, we stop with the freaking scenes of Thomas professing his love to her all the time? Because I feel like they're doing that. I still feel like they're doing that for a reason. Instead of just having them act normal with each other or hang out with each other, or I don't know, just have normal conversations, they always bring it back to the no strings with her, the I don't love you with her. And for him, I'll wait for you, I love you, I'm a one-woman man, it's always going to be you, blah, 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 and whatever else that he says to her.
And it makes me so angry because his little brother was able to get a love interest all to himself. Without him begging or pleading or crying up underneath the woman. But Thomas, 13 years running, 14 years running, he still can't get a decent love interest without him begging underneath Hope. That's so infuriating. And the writers had a missed opportunity. This should have been an affair. This should have been an affair where she could have been sneaking around, sleeping with Thomas, and him keeping that affair quiet is his way of showing love for her. And then we can see her change her emotions and see her, show a lot of her mother side. And it could have been blown into a huge thing. And then those love scenes would have really hit us as an audience. I mean, it's great. It's amazing. But it's missing the whole interaction with Hope and Thomas this far since that Italy thing. it's missing that ingredient, and that's why we're all like hoping for, like, when is Liam gonna find about the affair, about the cheating, about her sleeping with Thomas? Like, I hate that all this stuff is so up in the air now.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And I agree with you.
Yeah, I agree with you.
The affair would have been much more fun.
Yeah, I agree with both of you on what you both had said. My thing is with Hope and this confusion in her head today. People have been trying to talk her out of this little affair with Thomas since July, right? And she was doing it. She didn't care. I'm grown. When her mom confronted her and all this kind of stuff. What is it that Finn said that is really triggering to you that you pretty much was cold shouldered to Thomas? What makes what he said different versus everybody else that's been trying to talk you out of this?
Oh, I know why. He even hit the point when he was speaking to Hope. He's a man. She hears a man being devoted. She knows this man is devoted to Steffi. She's getting support from a man who she knows has the capability to focus on one woman only. Mm-hmm. And that's what it boils down to. And that's why he hit on the point. Like, you're only attracted to Thomas because of how he makes you feel. He makes you feel like the only woman. And then when speaking with Finn, she's like, oh, wow, Steffi is so lucky. He's so caring. He's so devoted to her. If only I had that. It's because of how that man could treat her if he wasn't with Steffi. That's the only appeal that's the only thing that she, I guess, had some form of appeal when it came to Finn, and some sort of draw when it came to Finn, and then they started a little bit of flirting here and there. This is such a mess.
Yeah, well, Finn to me is contradicting himself because before Steffi left and he had a conversation with his wife, he had, when Steffi was talking about how well Thomas is doing and how he's changed, Finn agreed with her. He looked like he has changed and he's doing so much better. And then you turn around and get with this girl in conversation and then tell her, you can do better than him. You know, you better than he is. And I'm like, wait a minute. You just said to your wife that her brother is doing a lot better, and I think he's changed too. And now you fast forward, now you back talking and throwing this man under the bus. I didn't like that part about him.
Right.
He flip-flopped.
It came out of nowhere.
Exactly.
And not only did he agree with Steffi, like we were saying last week, he said this all to Liam. That Thomas, he believes Thomas has changed. When he looks in his eyes, he can tell that he's a changed man.
Right.
And blah, whatever else it was that he said.
You know, and that's the part about the writers. Go ahead, Keish, I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, it's almost like the writers completely forgot about that scene.
Exactly. It's like, don't play games with people. We remember a lot of the stuff, you know, especially us that are really invested in the show. We've heard Finn say those statements a couple of times, multiple times, and then you're going to turn around and make him look like, what you doing with him? You could do better than him. You're better as a person than to be with somebody like him. I'm like, wait, what? Look who you
And if that were the case, if that were he, and in the same breath, he should have been reading the Liam riot act to Hope too, and saying, hey, Liam is not good for you either. Don't go back to him. He's been sniffing around my wife and has made it clear that he wants my wife. You can do better than both of them. If that were the case, then list both of those men off and say that she doesn't need to be with either one.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of just singling out Thomas for no reason, but left Liam unscathed. Out of all the things you could have said to Hope by now.
Oh, I was pissed off.
To be quiet.
Yeah, I wasn't happy about that last week. I couldn't believe
that he didn't say anything about Liam.
Yeah, when I first saw that spoiler a couple of weeks ago that, you know, Hope and Finn were going to have a conversation, I'm like, hopefully Finn let her know what's been going on and that Liam has been trying to undermine his. That's all he's been talking about for the last month, about Liam undermining his marriage. And now you don't even bring it up to Hope? That's crazy to me. Go ahead.
Yeah, terrible writing. That made no sense.
That made zero sense.
That should have been the first thing that he said to her.
Exactly. But see, that's why I think it's somebody said that he was being manipulative. Dewan fans, because my thing is, if you don't throw the man that's been interfering in your marriage up in Hope's face about what's been going on, why didn't you do that? Because some part of him don't care about whether or not Hope goes back to Liam. Just stay away from my wife. So instead you tell her to get away from Thomas. Why? So because you know that girl won't Liam. That's what that's about to me. What do you think?
Everybody in the comments like Hope is a little too friendly with Finn.
Girl, and then especially when she walked up in that man's house. I'm like,
oh yeah, slamming doors and stuff.
You was finna say. You was about not the kid. You about not the cuss, don't you?
And once again, a door unlocked, and Sheila's on the loose, and everyone is so scared and terrified. But Hope was able to walk into that same house.
Well, remember when Taylor came over and she was like, "You're the only one that doesn't have to worry about Sheila. Basically, you're safe enough to have your door unlocked because you're the only one that doesn't have to worry about Sheila hurting you."
Exactly. Well, yeah. I mean, no, she almost took his life. She almost took his life.
That was an accident. Remember, he was really trying to kill Stephanie.
Yeah, Finn ran into that bullet. He come flying in there from the outside, and that bullet was right there, and he ran right to it. But go ahead.
So the other frustrating thing this week was watching Hope talk to Brooke about what Finn was saying, and I'm like, are you really trying to give this thing a chance with Thomas? Because why on earth is Brooke the one that you're going to go back and tell what Finn said about Thomas, about her being able to do better than Thomas, and that she's better than Thomas? You know damn well your mama is going to agree with that.
Exactly.
You know what she's going to say.
Exactly.
And she don't do enough, in my opinion, when people say stuff like that. For you to be all up in Thomas's face the way you are, and when she says her little things that she says to him about how she believes he's a changed man and he's a good father, and all those little compliments that she does pay to Thomas. But then she sits there and listens to other people say what they say. And while she might say, well, I believe he's changed, that's not enough. I need you to go a little bit harder for him.
Well, man, you need him to go as hard as RJ went for Luna.
Exactly.
Oh goodness, not that much simping. Now,
no, Hope absolutely needs to do some simping for Thomas when it comes to standing up to him, to Brooke, and the stuff that Finn was saying.
I don't think it's necessarily simping when it comes to Hope, though. The thing is, she can put her foot down. She's put her foot down a few times throughout this process. I just don't understand, what is she scared of? Majority of the characters on the show know that she slept with Thomas. Most of the characters on the show already know that. Douglas already wants his parents together. He already senses there is something between you guys as it is. You made it clear that you don't care what anybody else says about Thomas because you had no problem sleeping with him and getting your 12 hours in and making your laps around the couch when you see him. So I'm a little bit confused as to what's wrong with wanting to go out with him and test walk. If anything, she should come to her own conclusion about him. Date him, actually see what he's like in relationship, and then come to the conclusion and say, hey, he's not for me. But she wants somebody to... she knows what she wants to do, but for whatever reason, she's scared.
She needs validation from somebody, and no one has given her that so far, other than Douglas.
Yep.
Which is so surprising.
But the funny thing is, I think that Taylor, if she had the attitude of, I do want to see where this goes with Thomas. I do want to, date him and go out on dates and do the traditional, I don't know, dating thing or whatever. I think if she had expressed that to Taylor, I think Taylor would have actually been supportive because she knows how much Thomas loves her. Like, if she would have told Taylor that, I want to try this out because I would like to see where this goes, I don't think Taylor would have been against that.
I disagree.
But her telling Taylor, we have an understanding, or, this whole no strings thing, of course Taylor is going to be against that because she knows how Thomas feels about her. She knows Thomas is in love with her. So a no strings thing is of course going to be unacceptable in her eyes.
Go ahead, Bree.
Okay, that makes sense. I was going to say, like, I disagree a little bit because when Taylor sees Brooke's kid, she sees nothing but Brooke. And even with Hope, so if Hope were to present that to Taylor, she's going to think like, okay, so once again, you're trying to use my son for your own personal gain because he's made it clear that he loves her and wants to be with her. But if she still needs to figure that out, even after the fact that they have a whole child that they're raising together, then it's like she's using her son, just like Brooke would do anybody else. It's all she'll see is Brooke. All she'll see is his Hope's mom in that case. So I don't see her being okay with this at all, especially after everyone's gone hard about Thomas's mental health and that he needs to keep it together, and he has been. So I don't think she would want to see her son fail for any woman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess my thing about that, the mental health thing, is that the only way, I don't know if she feels like the only way to avoid him possibly having a setback would be to completely just stay away from any type of romantic relationship with Hope. Which, I mean, yeah, maybe that is what she would prefer. But also, you got to trust that whatever work he's done is working or has worked. You know what I mean? Like, you can't keep him in a bubble.
Yeah, and that makes sense.
That's true.
I think if Hope was saying that I genuinely want to try this out with Thomas, I think that's different than the no strings thing, because you're trying to build a relationship. You're dating, and right now she's not even acknowledging that they're anything other than, a situationship. Okay,
other than F buddies.
That's not. I don't know. A situationship to me is not officially dating. Like, they're not even officially dating.
Yeah,
they're basically.
Mm-hmm.
They're gym partners.
F buddies. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said. F buddies. I mean, honestly, that's why they really screwed up the storyline. I mean, they had a good thing with her saying, you know what, I've been thinking about this, because I mean, even when they had November sweeps and they did the whole fashion thing last year, and the connection that they had on stage, and of course they threw that stupid CBS call in there. And then fast forward to...
I forgot about that.
Yeah, and then fast forward to June and July of this year, where, she started having all those fantasies, and then the thing in Rome, and then she come back, we got Thope Week, and she was like, I get to choose what I want for myself, and I choose you, and I had an awakening, and I want a man who only wants me, and that person is you. She said all that. Now, that could have been post something clarity, I'll just say that, but I keep it clean, but it could have been all that. I mean, Brooke bust up in there, and she stood her ground with her mama and all that. From that point forward, you got the lead designer and the design and the owner of the line. They could have turned this into something huge. So you put them on a back burner and throw them into a situationship where they're F buddies, okay? And then you give RJ an instant romance. I mean, come on. Really? When you had something here.
She was...
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
No, if you finish.
No, I mean...
I was just going to say Oh. You finish.
I mean, the thing is that, with this, they could have really worked from there when they saw how really well it did this summer. Instead of turning this into a situationship, or what you said, this ain't no relationship. Dude even asked her to go out to dinner, and she was like, "Nope, I'd rather have you." He asked her out on a date. She turned it down. She's telling him now, "Yeah, I like hearing that I'm the only one you want to sleep with, but I'm not. I don't want to be with you though." Because you see what happened today in today's episode when she was acting all squirrely, thinking about what Finn said. And when he said those trigger words, which was, I only love you and want to be with you. And her eyes got all big and watery and stuff like that. And then they went into this whole kiss. How many times you going to keep saying that to that girl to trigger her to now get back into a hole? Ain't nobody want to be doing that. Eventually it's going to get old.
Exactly.
So they really messed
It already
this up.
is.
This already is, and a lot of the fans are just pissed off. I just saw it in the comment section. They was like, "We've been done with dope." Because that's where it's going. Unless they clean this up. Why did you bring Douglas in this? Setting up romantic dinners and all this kind of stuff. If you just going to have Finn come in there and tell her something, then her mama, because they show her mom's agreeing with Finn in her thoughts or whatever. It's like, oh, y'all, come on. Y'all jacking this up really bad. So, but RJ can come in and have a romance.
Right.
I'm so annoyed by that. And they missed a huge opportunity. This should have been an affair. And instead of Liam seeing kisses, he should have walked into a bedroom, walking in Hope and Thomas or something to that effect. It should have been a long, love affair or something. Because
at least over the summer.
Yes, we could have been seeing Hope sneaking into the office where Thomas is, and she could have did the way she got undressed the day they slept together on the couch. She could have been trying to hide her emotions, and then her mom finds out about the affair and then tries to help her keep it quiet. Anything but this. I mean, we love the scenes that they're hot together. We just wish this should have been an affair. We haven't really seen a whole affair since Eric and Donna.
Yep.
That was it.
Yeah, when they were sneaking off.
It would have been a perfect affair too. This was a perfect situation for
Perfect.
I mean, you got Sheila and Deacon more in love and figured it out, and RJ and Luna figuring out their little budding romance over Hope running around squirrely in the head trying to be like, well, oh no. Girl, please. I mean,
They got about one more month with me.
Me too.
And if they ain't got this figured out in another month, I'm over it.
And especially if she goes,
I get the slow burn thing, but it's been how many months? What is it? The beginning of July, end of June?
What you talking about? Dope week?
Yeah, that's slow burn enough in soap world.
Girl, that was July 10th. July, August, September, October. That's been 3 months now.
But they just slept together in that office, and that was hot too.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, yeah,
every one of their scenes is hot.
They got chemistry. They have on-screen chemistry. Why would you turn this into her trying to be confused? Girl, Hope is really messing this up. And then you go sit up there and tell Finn last week, I just want a man that just love only me. You got one.
For real. Right.
He's telling you.
I don't want to hear that again. Mm-hmm. I don't want to hear Thomas tell her how devoted he is to her and how much he loves her and how she's the only woman for him. I don't want to hear that again. I don't want to hear Finn or Brooke talk about how she's better than Hope. I don't want to hear not one of those three things ever again.
Oh my God, J Money is funny. He said, "You got me unalive right now." When I said them trigger words, that's exactly what they are. It's like she's hypnotized. As soon as he say those words, panties are dropping and cheeks are clapping. J Money, oh my God, he is too funny. Too funny.
I mean,
But
technically speaking, we have seen that.
I mean, she loses it when Thomas says, "I love only you, and I'm devoted to you, and I'm a one woman man," and she's like, "Oh," and then it's over. Those are
Right.
like her. What they call that? Words of foreplay. She don't need much foreplay after that. That was just by him saying that is enough to get her to go. Yep.
Yeah. I need her to. I need her to grow up and make a decision.
Mm-hmm. I agree
I
with
need
Need
you.
her to
Summer
stop listening
Newman.
to. What'd you say?
I said, I need Summer Newman to come over to B&B because she would be this Hunter King, Summer, and Thomas. This Thomas,
Mm.
she would have not played around the way Hope is because she would have been like, you don't want Thomas, I'll take him, and that get Hope jealous. Like, there's so many missed opportunities. I just don't
Yeah.
understand what's going on with the writing, but it is
Girl,
what it is. Well, it's
listen.
not even writing. It's
Uh,
Brad Bell.
Bree, you was talking about Summer Newman and Thomas. I mean, Matt Atkinson and Hunter King did the whole Austin and Summer storyline on The Young and the
Yep.
Restless. He was the one that took Summer's virginity.
I
Yep.
remember that,
And
which
then
was
had
why,
an affair with her. Slept
and
with
they
her aunt.
and they were hot together. And the thing, and I know that's not going to happen, but that character Summer would be more than open and willing to go out with Thomas, and she would have more. She would have more of her mother in her than Hope has her mother in her. If that makes sense.
Listen,
Summer would be more Phyllis and will gladly snatch up Thomas versus Hope making her attempt to be like her mother Brooke.
let me tell you something. I mean, they're doing a crossover at the end of this month, right? From The Young and the Restless. Too bad they couldn't cross Audra over for Thomas. Girl, could you imagine
Oh,
that scene?
Wee.
With her crawling across the bed and him biting? Girl, please. The two of them are
Oh,
Hope
fire.
would not have a chance. She wouldn't have a chance.
at all.
Hope wouldn't
At
have
all.
a no.
She'd be begging.
No. Girl, Audra showed up over there and wait. They should have made it like this. I done created a whole thing in my head. If she was like, "Oh, I think I need to get some time to figure out what I want," Thomas be like, "All right, take as much time as you want to," and then he'd be like, "You know what? By the way, I'm going out for a date." And Audra walk up in there in one of her dresses and her hair pulled up in the top of her head like she wore, because she wear them little updos that's kind of curly. Girl, please. Hope would be like, "Wait, what?" I
And
would.
that's another aspect to this storyline that I feel like is missing is, and I may have said this last week too.
Mm.
There's no third party in there that, I mean, Thomas is done basically because it's Hope for him.
Mm-hmm.
There's not even the prospect of another woman being able to come in and possibly take him from Hope or turn his head from Hope. That's how much they have painted this man in a corner when it comes to the Hope character. So it's, in a way, because their chemistry is so great, everybody wants to see them together. I want to see them together. But then it's also like there's no opposition as far as, I don't know, the possibility of her losing Thomas to somebody else.
That's a good point. So she knows she has him in the bag, so why would she have to go above and beyond to fight for him?
Right.
Or to profess her love for him? I mean, he's doing enough for the both of them. I just wish they just have just two major crossovers just for like 2 years. I would love to see Phyllis and Sheila just switch positions. Put Sheila over on Y&R and put Phyllis over on B&B. And I would also be okay with Audra. Yeah, Audra could have came over as well, but they need to bring over another love interest. I would be okay with either Audra or someone coming over for Thomas. I don't know, but they need a major crossover at this point and let it be temporary to permanent for like at least 2 years. Switch over Phyllis and Sheila. That would shake up a lot of things, in my opinion. I had thought about it. That would be perfect for me.
And I know there's been people that have said like, this show always has men as a center of the triangle, and women are always fighting over the men. Like,
yeah,
I get that, but in this case, because Thomas has been the one that has basically been begging for love for the last 4 years, because the previous Thomases didn't really do that. They didn't really do that. Did they let Hope know that they had feelings for her, they were in love with her, whatever? They did, yes, but it was not to the level of what they have this Thomas doing. Like, this man has been begging for Hope for 4 years straight. Like, literally begging to be with this woman. So, to me, this is a different dynamic. So, I'm sorry if, again, it would be a man in the middle of two women, but I feel like the Thomas character, because of the way that they have built his story, I think it's needed with him. Whereas it wasn't needed with Liam, and we were tired of it with Reg.
Unless they write it where Hope goes back to Liam, and then Thomas is like, you know what, if you go back to him, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't prove to you, I didn't say that I would be there for you, and I'm the only woman for you, and you said that you want a man that only wants you and no one else, and blah, blah, blah. And then she goes back to Liam. That could be, if the writers could make that a deal breaker for Thomas, that would be, like you said, get him out of that corner that they painted him being only for Hope. What do you think?
I would prefer it be him walking away from her because it's what he needs to do, and not because she's thinking about going back to Liam, or because she does go back to Liam. I want it to be Thomas's decision to break it off with a single Hope, and not a Hope that is trying to make a decision between him and Liam. Because I feel like that shows how much strength or how much growth his character will have had when it comes to Hope. Yeah. And it's not because it's not an option for him anymore.
Girl,
or because it's looking like it might not be an option.
We giving Belle too much grace to try to do with that. I agree with you on that. In a perfect world, but they're going to have to give him some type of soapy reason to say, okay, I'm done.
Because I agree with her mess.
I agree with you, but they all keep doing stupid stuff. Deacon is in love with Sheila Carter right now. You know what I'm saying? And as much as I'm a Sheehan fan, I like the two of them, but he's in love with Sheila right now, and he's like, I'm about to lose my daughter over this woman. He don't care. It's bothering him, but so she has to make a decision, and I kind of, of course, I agree with you, Keisha, on that. What Thomas needs to do is say, look, I'm gonna give you some time to go figure that out. Go figure it out. I'm cutting off the pipeline. And I don't want him sitting back in the corner waiting for her to figure it out. Date other people.
Right. And he could even suggest that. Like, look, you do what you need to do. I'm going to do what I need to do. You can see whoever you want to see. And when you figure it out, if you figure it out and you want to be with me, if I'm still available, then we can do this. But for now, it's not enough for me, and I need to move on with my life.
Yeah.
And this would be a good opportunity, and I agree with that. And that would have been a good opportunity to bring a new girl in. He gets to know her, and then when Hope rejects him, he moves on with that girl. Now, one thing that we got to keep in mind is Hope can want to go back to Liam. It's a matter of Liam wanting to go back to her, because he's not going to want to be with her after he finds out she slept with Thomas several times. Yep. So she might not have anything to go back to. And Brooke also needs to kind of come to grips with that too. She knew from the beginning that Hope wanted Thomas, and then found out that they were sleeping together. So she knows there's really not much for her to go back to with Liam. So for Hope really just kind of needs to come to grips with her adulthood, and if she wants to move on and move forward with Thomas and not to worry about each and everybody's opinion about him. She of all people knows his capabilities and his past, and she's already forgiven him. He's been forgiven, and he's still being held to the fire still. So she just needs to come to grips and grow up a lot a bit, and just go ahead and just start something fresh and move forward, because there's really not much she can go back to with Liam. Because if he won't forgive a kiss, he's damn sure not going to forgive her sleeping with Thomas at all.
Right.
Yep.
Has she ever said that she forgives Thomas for the things that he did back then? Because, and I only say that because when she went and broke up with him, when she thought she was thought she had a chance of getting back with Liam, and she brought up that they had the conversation about what happened with Beth, and he was like, "But you know, I'm changed. Like, I'm a different person now." And she was like, "But what Liam said is true. That's all true." So it's almost like if you have really forgiven this man for that, then why would you say that to him? You know what I mean?
I get that. I also feel that the thing is, she's witnessed Thomas like go to his therapy sessions, really work on himself. She said numerous times, like, "I forgive you, and I know you've changed." I feel like those moments where she's like questioning Thomas, or like, questioning his sincerity, I guess, she's always has like either Brooke or someone else in her ear that's making her, go back to stuff that she's already forgiven this man for. She's already slept with this man. She forgave him enough. Well, at least her lower region forgave him.
Yeah.
So it's, I'm just so confused with the direction they're taking Hope in. Like, this Hope, just in general, like, what are they doing with this girl?
She was everything was all good up until that dang on mermaid party, and then they regressed her back to that
scared little girl.
Yeah.
Yep. And then Brooke in her
she
ear,
lost all that confidence.
And Brooke was sitting up to tell me, "See, look at this. This is what your life could go back to. Look at your daughter and Liam," and not knowing that Liam has been sniffing around Steffi. But it's like, and she's sitting up there like, "Wow, maybe this could be my life." Yeah, okay. Not with that vanilla sex you was having with Liam. But anyway,
KY said she needs to let other people know she's forgiven Thomas, because whenever someone mentions to her about the bad things Thomas did, Hope didn't really defend Thomas. And that's
exactly
true. She'll say, I think he's changed, but that's all she says. She doesn't like say anything more than that. And it's like that. I don't know.
Well, I do know that next week or so that Liam is back, and he's going to have a face-off with Thomas, and I'm like, why? For what?
Yes.
About what?
For what? Why you need to face off with this dude? What you mad for?
Right.
You don't know about, unless something come out, but it's like you've been running after Steffi and messing around in Finn's marriage and all this kind of stuff. Why are you up in Thomas's face? Thomas gave you the opportunity to take Hope back. He even came to your office and said, "Look, why don't you take the woman back? You can have her." And then he's sitting up there talking. He did say that, and then, Liam dug his heels in and like, "Now I don't want to." And then, of course, Thomas was like, "You going to regret that." And now here we go. What you coming up in there talking crazy to Thomas about? And of course, that photograph, he's up at Forrester. So why you track him down at Forrester having a face-off with him? Leave him alone. You need to go figure that out. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and also, if you're trying to get back with Steffi, I mean, going up to Forrester and getting in her brother's face probably ain't gonna help.
Nope. Girl, it's just crazy. All right, we gotta move.
I also wish he would admit to wanting to get back with Steffi instead of. I feel like he tries to play coy about it. Like, maybe you didn't tell her to leave her husband, but all the other things that you have done is definitely an indication. And you basically told her that if you ever had a chance with her again, you wouldn't let her go. Like, own up to that stuff.
Exactly. And Liam is, the thing is, Hope kissed Thomas. She chose to start that cheating stuff with Thomas, whereas Liam is deliberately trying to break up Finn and Steffi's marriage, between him doing the video, for him getting into Finn's face, and throwing all the stuff with Sheila, and then also admitting to Rich that he's in love with Steph. He is deliberately trying to break up that relationship. So I don't know why he's going up to Thomas for after months. After months.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
To discuss what?
Yeah, what are we talking about?
Yeah, that's what I'm curious to see.
I agree with you. I agree. All right, let's move on to this other storyline with Sheila and, well, I guess Hope is also a part of that storyline too. With Sheila, Brooke, Ridge, and Deacon. Who wants to go first?
Oh, goodness. See, they knew better than this. They were better off just keeping it a secret, because telling the kids and telling everyone is just, it holds no benefit. I understand they want to be out in the open with it. That's fine. But did you have to really put a ring on Sheila's finger? I don't know what those 9 toes have done to that man, but not enough to put a ring on it, and then eventually, like, severing, ties with your daughter and your grandchildren. I don't know if Sheila is worth that, but I mean, people are definitely not going to go to this wedding, so we don't have to worry about a wedding special for them.
Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, I'm cool with, because I like them two together. They're kind of spicy. They keep the show interesting, What I don't understand is Deacon's sudden change of heart. Because, I mean, a week ago, he was telling her she had to get gone, don't come back. Then he turns around, and when she leaves, I don't want you to leave. I realize that I can't be without you, and I want to marry you. Have y'all even went out on a date? No. And then he has no ring. He has no ring. He's on, saying, would you marry me? And now she back up in the house and you introducing her to your daughter, saying, I'm in love with it. Because here's the thing. They still haven't told Finn and Hope that they're engaged. They've told them that they're in love, but they haven't even got to the engaged part of it. That's the crazy thing. But, I mean, the delusion, it's like, do you actually... And then Sheila had the nerve to say, their reaction actually mean they love us. I'm like, girl, are you serious right now?
Right. That was the one thing that I picked up on, is when her and Deacon were discussing it, she was discussing it as if her and Finn have a relationship.
Right.
And I'm like, you're talking about this as if Finn is, like, seriously concerned about who you're dating. His concern is you just leaving town. I mean, he could give a crap less who you having sex with.
What you got, Bree?
He's not upset because you and Deacon are dating. He's upset because that means you sticking around.
Exactly. What you got, Bree?
I agree. I don't think Finn would care just as long as she's out of Steffi's sight, because he's just more focused about getting Steffi home before Liam snatches her up. But it was very delusional for Sheila to think that. I think Deacon is going to be a little more. I think it's going to hit Deacon more once he sees that he can't have a relationship with his grandchildren while Sheila's in his life. But I feel like she'll always be delusional. She'll always be optimistic in her own type of way. So I think as long as she's able, like the thing is, she doesn't care if Finn goes back to Steffi. She prefers for him not to, especially if it means keeping that relationship. But I feel like it just she feels like it opens the door and it doesn't. But Finn is also not really making himself very clear like he should, because he's still choosing to speak with her, and all he has to do is get a restraining order. He could have snatched her up. He could have sent her on a plane. He could have done a lot of things.
Yeah.
At this point, as many.
Go ahead.
She's been to the house and everything, so he's had opportunities to get rid of Sheila, and he hasn't.
The interesting thing is that, like you say, he keep entertaining the conversation. That's the problem with that. Mm-hmm. And as long as he entertained the conversation, that gives her hope. You know, right. Like, you know, well, I mean, he keep coming back. He keeps seeing me. And it's the funny thing when RJ told him that you need to step up as a man and talk to your mama. How many people done said that? They won't, because Finn is so laid back that people are telling him you need to step up. Like Lee, when she told him you need
and do what?
Yeah, what is he going to do to get Sheila out? What is he going to do to say to his mama about Luna? Go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead, Keish.
I appreciated his, I don't know, the way he basically yelled at her when he was at Il Giardino, or however you pronounce that restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Telling her that she, you know, you need to go away, go to Genoa City, just go anywhere but here. So, I mean, I didn't feel like that was a wavering statement that he made to her. He made it clear that he doesn't want her there because she's basically ruining his life right now.
Did it work, girl?
Of course not. Of course it didn't. And that's where he screwed up the most, was when he gave her them stupid hugs and gave her that hope and then called her mom. Yeah. Those are the two things that he did that gave Sheila all that hope.
Mm-hmm. Oh, poor Finn. Also, go ahead.
Deacon trying to tell them that Sheila has changed. And it's like, has Sheila been in therapy? Like, in what ways has she changed? How do you know for sure Sheila has changed? I'm confused here.
Well, Keisha, that's the thing. How do you say that she changed when you almost tried to kick her out of your apartment a week and a half ago? I mean, what did she change in that last week and a half ago between the time you tried to kick her out and the time she did try to leave and you tell her, I realize I can't be without you? Did she change somewhere in there? Girl, it just don't make sense. And to think that they would have to rewrite the emotional response of everybody on that show to accept Sheila. There is no way the Spencers, the Logans, or the Forresters are going to accept Sheila Carter. It's just not going to happen. Unless they get married in private. But still, where's that storyline going to go? I don't know where they're going. I don't think this is going to be sustainable to keep them two together. Because they tried to redeem her by saving Kelly. They overlooked that whole thing and said, okay, thanks, but get out. So, that whole thing is a hot mess. Y'all got anything else on that storyline?
I'm kind of curious if they're going to speed up, like, the process with them, if they're going to actually have them go through and get married. It's leaning towards that way. So that means that Hope and Finn, we more than likely will see more scenes with them. So it just makes me wonder
I hope not.
Well, we gonna get a.
This was a whole Kim test this whole week. We can't even say it wasn't. There's a whole Kim test
for sure.
And people hated it.
So maybe later down the line.
You can't. I mean, it's too soon. It's just too soon. You can't have Thomas and Hope sleeping together for the month of July and periodically through August and September, and then Kim tests her with Finn. And because they got so much chemistry, meaning Thomas and Hope, that you're going to automatically switch. Okay, let's see if we can Kim test her with Finn. No, it's too soon. It'd be different if they had to stop talking and they distanced themselves, right? And then turn around and, she 6, 7, 8 months from now they Kim test Finn to see where this is going to go. It's just too soon.
But do you think? I don't know. I feel like there's a possibility for them to do like a one and done thing between. Maybe not right now. Maybe something
like a one-time thing or something.
Yeah, like a mistake where they both feel like it was a mistake. I don't know. Maybe they were drunk or something to throw a wrench in like her and Thomas's thing and the Finn and Steffi marriage, because right now Finn is a Boy Scout.
Pretty much.
I would hate for them to do that, because then that's just another man that Steffi and Hope
will have to fight over.
Have drama with. Yeah.
But they can't leave Liam by himself. That man been on this show for what, over 15 years? He ain't never been alone. Like Thomas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Maybe it's time for him to do that.
Yeah, you would think. I would hope so. I will say that Hope is they're gonna get into a whole argument, Hope and Deacon. She's gonna put an ultimatum on the table next week. So the question is, what is Deacon gonna do? Cause she probably gonna say, if you continue this relationship with Sheila, I'm done. You can't see these grandkids. I'm not coming around. Our relationship is over. What he gonna do with that? Are you gonna kick Sheila to the curb? Or are you gonna say, well, this is my life. I got about a good 20 years left. I'm finna live it up. What you gonna do?
Yeah, I feel like he fought so hard to have his relationship with his daughter. That's why none of this makes sense to me. Because that's all Deacon pretty much talked about when he first came back on screen, was fixing his relationship with Hope. And you're going to throw that all away for Sheila?
I mean, he's already kind of been in and out of her life as it is. I honestly feel like maybe he just assumes that eventually she might turn her back against him, or I don't know. It's just very odd for them to come this far and then for him to get with Sheila and then that destroys it. The writing is just really weird. I'm so confused with all of this. Because I want to root for Sheila and Deacon. I would like to, but no one's going to support their marriage. No one's going to go to that wedding. It's not like we're looking for a storybook romance, but it's hard to get invested when we don't really know the direction.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I say, I think they're both two misfits who understand each other. There's not like he is got to tiptoe around her past. She ain't got to tiptoe around his. That's why it makes it so unique between those two, because they know who each other are. You know what I'm saying? And they accept each other's backgrounds and past, which make that a little bit more. Whereas we got Hope, she's still struggling with Thomas's background and the history, and then the other part like sleeping with him. And then RJ, he don't even know the girl history yet, and he ready to dive in. so I mean, they in that whole race of love. I mean, Deacon and RJ is further ahead than Hope is. Hope is still at the starting gate, not knowing which direction to take. So
Right. And that's wearing it's wearing me down.
I know.
I already don't like the character, and this for me, like,
you don't like who, Sheila?
her and Thomas.
Mm.
Oh no, I was talking. Sorry, I thought you were talking about Hope.
Oh well, go ahead. So you don't. I'm asking you. Do you don't like the Hope character?
Yeah. So the whole the indecision thing is that's what I was saying. It's wearing me down. And it's already a thing where I only like her because she's with Thomas or when she's with Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
So
we get to see like a different side of her personality more. Like she gets to dress sexy. She gets to, show a little flirtation. We get to see a whole different, like, I want to say like a transformation. We just get to see a different side of her that we have never really seen with her and Liam. I would say
because it's more confident.
Yeah, and more womanly instead of like being this little girl, and that's why it gets annoying when she runs back to Brooke. It's like, you're a little girl running back to your mom, and the attempts that she makes putting her foot down, they never stick because she's too terrified what her mom thinks. But the character could be very. The thing is, the character direction they were going in with her and Thomas really made her character interesting. It opened a lot of, storyline opportunities, especially with this type of Hope. But I don't like the flip-flopping part, but we need to flip-flop some characters and switch them on the show. That's why I feel Phyllis and Sheila just need to switch. It would change some things, in my opinion. But there needs to be a little bit of a shakeup or something because it's so confusing with these storylines.
St. John Lover said in a comment, why did Hope think that Brooke could just go over there and end things with Sheila and Deacon? What do y'all think?
Because it's Brooke.
Mm-hmm.
We know Brooke thinks she can tell everybody what to do.
Yeah, she won't allow
That's
it.
all she does.
So I told me, I won't allow it. And Ridge was like, oh, she was there, I'm going with you. Girl, Okay, see you later. Funny? No, I'm talking in the comments.
I'll see you later. And the thing is, Ridge wasn't surprised by any of this. Hope and Brooke were like surprised, like, you knew this? He was like, yeah, I knew this. So then I don't understand why he's so upset and so angry. I'm just so over like just the writing. Like, it was really disappointing with the writing for both shows this week. I will say it's gotten a little bit better, but there's just too much confusion. I enjoy it. I watch it. I love my soaps, but I don't know. As of late, it's just been a little bit confusing for me.
Gotcha.
Especially Y&R.
Yes.
I legit the scenes, any of the Newman scenes anymore. It's so hard for me to pay attention.
It's nothing but musical chairs for a CEO position, and that's not, I don't know. That's not what I like to see. But oh well.
You're so funny. All right. Did we miss anything? We covered everything for you, Bold and the Beautiful, correct?
I think that's it.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to go to our flip the script and who's taking some seats this week. So for those that are new here, our flip the script segment is if there's a particular storyline that you wish you could change, that's where you would flip the script. So what you got for Y&R?
You want to go for it?
Yeah. For Y&R, it would be nice to not have seen Nick or Sally this week.
Okay. What you got, Keish? Oh, were you done? Bree?
Oh no, and that's pretty much done. I'm good. That's it.
Okay. Okay, what you got, Keish?
I would have liked to have seen more of Summer and Chance.
Ooh, I agree. We only got that on what, Monday, I think it was, and then we didn't see
Yeah, I
it at
think.
the reception, and that was it.
Hmm. And
Okay.
then little Miss Sharon came over, interrupted, looking like a little jealous teenager.
Oh, girl, yeah, that was pathetic. That was so pathetic. Yes, it
Hmm.
is. If I had to do a flip, it's just my thing with Nicholas. Oh my God. I kind of
Yeah.
wish Adam would stop taking the verbal, emotional crap that's coming out of Nicholas' mouth. It's like, dude, who are you talking to? And see, I know
Right.
why Adam is trying to tote that line because everybody's expecting him to do something bad. So even if he had a
Yep.
whole argument with Nicholas, even though Nicholas started it, you know what I'm saying? They'll be like, see, I told you you haven't changed. So he's trying to stay so
Exactly.
reserved, but at some point I'd be like, you need to tell these people to get the French toast out your face. That would have been my flip. And I wouldn't have said French
Didn't Nick
toast.
push him or something?
Well, he tried to grab Nick from walking away, and Nick got mad and wanted to lay hands on him, push him off, and don't touch me, and stay away from you, and you are embarrassment to the Newman family. All that stuff he said. All because
Yeah.
you realized that girl was playing you. Stupid. Go. Anyway, what you got for Bo?
Stupid.
For bold, I would say, when Finn, yeah, when RJ and Finn were talking, and RJ was like, "Hey, you need to get rid of Sheila."
Mm-hmm.
See, that's where Finn should have been like, "Look, you guys have tried to get rid of her for decades. Your dad had the whole FBI. I'm not trying to sit here and fumble like your family."
I heard that. Mm-hmm.
That would have been nice.
That would have been
That would have
nice.
been nice to
If the
hear.
FBI couldn't get rid of it, what do you think I can do? Me.
Right.
Okay? Alright, what you got, Keish?
I would have had Finn apologize to Hope with the way that he talked about Thomas and
Mm.
say, you know what, now that I think about it, I was wrong for what I said. And I do think Thomas has changed. I told Steffi as much, and I also told Liam the same thing before Rome. So I take
Mm-hmm.
it back.
Yep, he was contradicting himself. I agree with you. Um, my flip on the Bold and the Beautiful, you know, ooh, we hope. I would have had Thomas because he was like, you looking kind of distant right now. I lost you there for a second, blah, blah, blah. And have him pull back. Be like, look, you need to go figure this out. I can't go down this emotional roller coaster with you while you trying to do this. Go ahead and figure that out, and I'm going to take a step back. That's what I would have had Thomas do. So, um,
Mm.
Jenna said for Y&R, she said, I wish Adam would have finally told Sally today that he was done, that he's leaving her alone, and he wants her to know that he's finally done. I agree with that, too.
Okay.
And then she also said for Bo, I would have had Deacon tell Ridge to leave his apartment when he called Sheila an animal. Okay.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Don't be coming up in here disrespecting my 9-toed fiance. All right, and then our next segment is who's taking seats. Somebody that absolutely annoyed you, got on your nerves, said something stupid, was contradictory, and you like, you know what, you need to go somewhere and sit yourself down. If you want to throw well, I'll keep it separate. So go ahead. What's your who's taking seats for Young and the Restless this week?
For me, it's Nick and Sally. I cannot. This is like watching two teenagers, but please send them away. They can take a seat to the nearest Greyhound and just go somewhere. We don't even care where. There's no destination, just not on my screen.
I heard that, girl. And what you got, Keish?
Sharon can take a seat for being insecure for no reason because Chance ain't done nothing.
Ooh, that's good.
Oh, goodness, shots fired.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Also, I agree with the Nick and Sally.
Yeah.
They also.
I'm gonna give the Newman family maybe Adam, but for the Newman family, Victor for trying to play with his kids, and then of course, Victoria and Nicholas for coming at Adam, and then she in that fake apology. Get your big. If you don't get out of here with that fake apology. He was like 2 in one day. He's like, okay, I'm out of here, sis. Yeah, cause she faking. She ain't trying to get no real apology. But yeah, that whole Newman family, that part right there, y'all need to go sit down somewhere, cause y'all all messy, all of you. And take Nate and Sally with you. All right, y'all ready for your vent session? Bree, and Bree, you know you had a vent because you were venting in the DMs.
Yeah, I'm just going to dedicate this specifically to Sally. Because Nick is a lost cause, Adam's a lost cause. It's Sally. She is simply pitiful. So Simply Pitiful has had an opportunity to come onto a new city, and since then we have seen her go from hotel to hotel, making stupid decisions. Nothing is logical, nothing is rational. This woman has had the opportunity to have a whole house to herself, have businesses, to have success. She had 2 rich, wealthy Newman men want her, and she still, at the end of the day, is choosing to be an idiot. And
go ahead.
And to be honest, it would make me more happy just for her to watch how a real woman does it. Let her watch Audra maneuver her way between Nick and Adam and get her businesses and up. That would have been the tutorial of life that Sally needed to see. I'm just really just over the fact that she came to Genoa City, supposed to do the fashion design, and then now she's doing interior. She has no direction in her life, and it's to the point now we just don't need to see her on screen for at least a year or get her on a different platform. But I cannot with that man that she loves so much, that situation peen that she calls her man, Nick. That situation peen got her completely this.
Yeah, I got you. All right, Keisha, it's your turn for Young and the Restless. Who you ranting about?
Oh, I didn't realize we were doing one for each show.
Oh, you don't have one for Young. If you don't have one for Young and the Restless, that's cool.
Yeah, I don't really have a Y&R rant. I'm as annoyed with Sally as Bree is, so I'll just say I concur with Bree's rant about Sally.
My rant is with Nicholas. Nick, your daddy done told you a long time ago that this girl was going to be a whole problem. You walked in the middle of that whole situation knowing fully well that the 2 of them wasn't even done. You decided to date this girl knowing that you were trying to stick it to Adam, because part of it is the fact that you were enjoying spending time with Sally. The other part of it is that you were trying to stick it to your brother. You knew this man wanted that woman back, but no, you wanted to do. And then even after she played you by sleeping with your brother, you still walked into that room, stench fully in the air. She was still in a robe. The bed was messed up. And he walked right out the door fixing his clothes, and you still wanted to date her. Then fast forward 6 weeks, you found out that the girl was pregnant with his kid, and you still stayed there. Everybody gave you sympathy when the whole demise of their child happened. Oh, I guess you need time off. Oh, poor Nick. You know, Sally just lost a baby. I know that would be your niece, but seriously, You went through that whole thing, and then we get all the way down to October, and you got a whole kiss, and you about to punch this man in the face. That's why you was thinking about what your daddy said, because you let this girl who was playing two in the middle come in between you and your brother. Seriously, I would have a rant for Adam, but I'm going to say that for another day, because I know they're going to get into it again. And I'm going to land my plane right there. All right. Who's taking seats for bold? Who want to go first?
I'll go. For me, Hope is going to need to take a seat. I'm going to need for her to go see Dr. Phil, James Warwick. Go see somebody. Go talk to Jesus. I'm going to need for her to sit down and just come to grips with the fact that she is a whole woman.
Bree, you said Hope?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Take a seat.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna need for her to take a seat, go see Dr. Phil, go get somebody to get her head on straight, get somebody to help her understand that she's a whole adult who needs to learn how to speak up and make decisions and stand on them regardless of what people say, instead of being swayed by every other individual as if she's a little girl and she has a whole man that she has no problem running behind the couch for.
Okay. Was that part of your rant?
I guess so. I think that's okay. I think I'm good.
All right, I know Keisha got a rant. What you got, girl?
Am I ranting or taking a seat?
Both, or if you want to do them both.
Okay. So, my take a seat is Hope. Also, RJ with what he said to Finn. And I'll say Deacon.
Okay.
Because he clearly is not thinking right now. They can all take seats. My rant is for Finn. Because Hope is going to be who she's going to be with her indecision with Thomas. Thomas is going to be who he's going to be with how he's handling this whole situation with Hope. But Finn and what he did last week by dogging out Thomas to Hope and not even mentioning one word about Liam and completely contradicting himself with how he feels about Thomas and the changes that he's made. That was, I'm still mad about that because it was out of left field. It was unnecessary. Nobody asked for his opinion on that. And his wife would absolutely be pissed off had she heard him say that to Hope. Of all people. One more person telling Hope how perfect she is and how incredible she is and putting her up on that pedestal that they have always done with her. And it's her husband doing it. Steffi would not have had that. And Brooke was right. When she, that was the one thing Brooke said in that conversation with Hope when she said, well, I can't imagine that Steffi would approve of Finn talking about her brother that way. Yeah, she sure wouldn't.
Nope.
And somebody said it in the chat a little earlier that they want to see Finn and Thomas in a scene together, and I do too, because I want Finn to say to Thomas what he said to Hope. Like, if that's how you feel for real, I want Thomas to hear you say that. And when Steffi comes back, I want you to say the same thing to Steffi, because he's singing a completely different tune to her. So,
yep,
that's my rant. I still love Finn, him and his cheekbones. And
he's so gorgeous. Body. We still would love him. But just stupid this week. He was stupid this week.
Yeah. So,
gotcha.
That's my rant.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Who I'm having taking seats this week is, Hope. Y'all already got Hope in a seat. Because between the situation of her running up in Finn and Steffi's house, because if Steffi was there, she wouldn't do that stuff. Maybe she will. I don't know. Have she walked in that house before? I don't know. But her run up in people's houses, talking to her husband and talking about how wonderful of a man he is, and he's so lucky. And girl, if you don't sit down somewhere and figure out who you got in front of you, and then this whole other situation, thinking that Deacon can be controlled by Brooke and Ridge. The FBI couldn't do it. You think Brooke and Ridge are going to be able to go over there and tell him to stop seeing Sheila? Come on. No. Mm-mm. Nope, nope, nope. And as for a rant, hold on one second. Oh, my phone, hold on. Okay.
It's clear that Ron Julian in these comments don't like Finn. I just wanted
really?
to point that out.
Really? What's wrong with Finn? I mean, he's just stupid this week, at least.
I don't know if maybe he's a steam shipper.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just asking. I don't know if that's what it is. Okay, sorry.
Hold on. I'm just trying to. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, that would be. Okay, my son was texting me. Sorry about that.
You're fine.
In regards to who my oh my God, hold on. What happened to my stream? Did my stream go away?
Did it stop?
Not on. Oh, okay, yeah, there it is. Okay,
I can still it.
On my screen, it wasn't there. I'm like, what happened? Okay. Anyway, sorry about that, guys. All right, so if I had to pick a rant for somebody, I mean, I wouldn't have like an aggressive rant, but I'd have to pull Thomas to the side and say, look, I know you want this girl, but she's been telling you for the last month that she just wants you for what you got in your pants. Now, I know you say you're a one-woman man, and you think you can handle this situation, but your brother-in-law's been talking behind your back and throwing you under the bus to your girl right here, and she's thinking twice about what he said, which is why she's being distant from you. So I think maybe you need to give that girl some time to go and figure out herself, and in the meantime, you got Petra. Hey, maybe we can bring Claire Grace over. She'll be cute for you. Maybe I can introduce you to Audra on the, over in Genoa City. Don't you need to take a trip over to Fenmore's, y'all a fashion house? Stop by and see Audra. She'd probably like to see you too. But you need to get.
I'll fix it. I'm gonna fix the issue. I will be Thomas's love interest. It's been look. Someone has to do it. Somebody has to do this, and
you volunteering your services
out of the goodness of my heart. I'm going to do this for soap fans. But yeah, somebody give Thomas a love interest.
Yeah, I'm over. I know Keisha says she gonna get him a month. I don't know. This girl getting on my nerves. And I mean, and then the other thing is not just her, just the fact that Thomas is doing just as much begging as Adam is. Both of them,
yes,
gorgeous men. Why? You don't have to beg women who ain't sure about whether they want to be with you. It's pathetic.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Keisha.
I wonder if that's what I think that's what bugs me the most is the Thomas sounding like he's begging her. I think if she was indecisive, so be it. But if Thomas had just told her once or twice, you know what, I want to be with you, like this is what I want, but I understand you need time, and then just backed off of it, I don't think I would be as annoyed. But I think that's what it is that annoys me, is that it feels like he's begging, and that's what I'm sick of listening to, because Thomas that's my guy in this shit. I could give two craps less about Hope, but because they're so good together, I like it. But Thomas is like, he's my ultimate. So I hate seeing my half of that ship be the one that's doing all the begging.
Yeah, and Adam too. I mean, Sally has just been, it's like these two men, just y'all can find somebody else instead of dealing with somebody who ain't sure about you. And then now we're gonna have
Right.
Sally coming back next week talking about she gonna tell Adam how much she loves him and all this old kind of stuff.
Oh gosh.
I'm like, are you
I don't even want
serious?
to. I'm over them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've been over them for a while, girl. They
Yeah.
screwed that storyline up badly, and then you gonna turn around and try to spin the block and bring it back? No.
Right.
Mm-mm. I'm trying to see exactly. Hold on. That actual spoiler I saw
Bree.
about that. Bree?
Oh,
J
I see
Money.
it. I see it.
What is J Money
Money.
talking about?
J Money. I say nothing when you talk about Audra.
Right. He be all over Audra in the comments.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, I am doing this out of goodness of this is charity. I am trying to do this out of goodness of my heart.
Oh, God.
Okay, they needed a love interest for Thomas, and I said, you know what? It is my American duty to do this for daytime soap fans.
Girl, he got cloudy eyes. He got cloudy eye emojis and tears. Girl, you done broke this man's heart. Listen, J Money been trying. For those fans, these are my moderators, but obviously J Money has been trying to shoot his shot with Miss Bree over here. So, yeah, I might have to get both of y'all on the live. That would be hilarious.
That was fun.
Oh God.
No, but I see nothing when it comes to Audra. No, we're just playing.
I know.
Somebody has to like Keisha, you step in and be Thomas's love, and you get your 12 hours and you do that for the soap fans too.
Oh,
everybody.
Of course. You don't have to ask me twice.
That's funny.
Because Hope has lost her mind. I would have. Anyway.
Girl, listen, they already trying to ship y'all. They didn't call y'all brony. Bree and J Money, Bronny. You see it in the comment section, Bree? Is Bree?
I can see it.
Uh-oh, did we lose Bree?
I'm still here.
Oh, okay.
I can hear you. I hear you. Okay, I see it. Thank you for forgiving me, J Money. I appreciate that.
Yeah, girl, but you.
Brony?
Yeah, Rachel.
I like Bree J better.
Bree J. Oh, Lord.
Oh, Lord.
Y'all funny. Oh, my God, y'all crazy. All right, do y'all got anything else before we close up shop?
I think I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
Are you on next weekend, Keish?
I'm going to be in Florida for the next 2 weeks, so I won't be back home until...
You're going to be in Florida?
The 28th. I'm going to... Look, I'm a big kid, y'all. I'm going to Disney 1 week and going to Universal the next.
Look at you.
Enjoy yourself.
Enjoy
I'm in
yourself.
Orlando.
You are?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I live in Orlando. But yeah, just enjoy yourself. I forget what I was about to say. No, but I've lived here for like almost 15 years, so just let me know.
Yeah. I'll do that. Yeah, I'll be up there for 2 weeks.
Oh, cool. Well, there you go. See? Y'all, when you go down there, she's not far. And the thing is, you talking about the end of October. You in Ohio, so you're going to go down there to some warm weather.
Yeah. That's usually the time of year that I go is usually October, November, because for one, I don't like long lines. And I know that the parks are a lot thinner during that time of year.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely ain't going over a holiday because I made that mistake once. So
I think J Money want to go with you. He said road trip.
Wait, where is Jay at?
Jay, I think he's in Illinois.
Oh, okay. Midwest. Everyone's in the Midwest.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, you guys, we had a blast, girl. We've been on here 3 hours and 24 minutes.
Ooh.
It don't seem like it. We had so much fun. Yeah, and a lot of them, they hung out with us. We had over 100 and some people up in here. Make sure you guys hit that like button. I see the mods were definitely dropping it in the comment section to hit the like button if you enjoyed this content. If you are new here, because I know I post a link on in some of the Facebook groups, and you want to continue to get some of the weekly content and even the live chat that we do on Friday night, subscribe. Make sure that you subscribe, and also turn on your notification bells so you'll be notified every time a post comes out. So, yep. And then also follow on the other social medias, IG, TikTok, Threads, and X, which used to be Twitter. So, all right. You guys got anything else before we go? Nope.
No, ma'am.
Have a good weekend.
Yep. Have a good weekend, and we will talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.